Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Izuku Yagi became the hero hunter part 1. If you guys enjoy this what if and want to see part 2, comment down below and let me know before I start. Please do support for more awesome content and leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also share this video with your friends and check out the description in my playlist. The author of the story 𝗵𝘃𝗲 from Wattpad. So let's start the video. Name: Izuku Yagi. Quirk: None. Age: 16 seconds. Male. Occupation: hero hunter. Threat level: tiger god in future. Family: Izuku Yagi, Toshinori Yagi, Izumi Yagi, 𝗵𝘃𝗲 𝗵𝘃𝗲. Personality: cold-hearted, not for everyone. Pride: rageful and hatred for heroes. Likes: fighting, challenging opponents. Loneliness and isolation. Dislikes: hypocrisy, heroes, villains, monsters, his family. Friends: coda, airy looks. Ignore the fingers. Loudly crying face: it was the best fan art I could find that Izuku has resemblance to 𝗎𝗪𝗢. Ignore the fingers. Loudly crying face: it was the best fan art I could find that Izuku has resemblance to 𝗎𝗪𝗢. 3. Quote: I am that ominous future disaster level god, Izuku. Quick note: I will release 2 chapters per weekend, so 2 chapters on Saturdays and Sundays. If you guys have any ideas or opinions, feel free to leave it down in the comments. I'll be more than happy to reply. Last but not least, the OPM arcs of the book is going to be based on the manga, not the webcomic, so if you guys do not want spoilers, then don't read this book. Also, I will include a few arcs from mine here, so it can be an equal crossover. Bakugo: let's play heroes. You wanna play too, don't you, Deku? Bully 1: yeah, let's play. Izuku: huh. Sure, Bakugo. Boom. Fear not, because I am here, he said as he jumped from the bench and punched the bystander kid. Izuku: that's dangerous. Bakugo: huh. Izuku: that's mean. Bakugo smirking: in that case you can be the monster, huh. Bully 2: you be the monster, Bakugo. Yeah. The next day at school. Student 1: wait, what's going on? Student 2: Deku's going crazy. Student 3: we were just playing, then he got mad. Bully 1: we were playing heroes and Deku got super mad at Kutsuki. Bully 2: what the heck, what's his problem? Student 4: poor Kaken. Principal: so what made you so angry? Izuku: well, Principal, I heard you got angry while playing heroes. Is that true? Izuku: that's because Kaken always. Principal yelling: you can't even tell the difference between real life and make-believe. Izuku: that's not it, I always have to play the monster, and, Principal, you're the one who lost control. How are you going to take responsibility for this? He yelled, scaring Izuku. Time skip. Bakugo: SMA, he yelled as he was about to punch him in their game. Izuku got out of the way, causing Bakugo to fall. Why the heck are you dodging it, Deku? Bakugo smirking: guys, hold on to Deku for me. Bully 1/2/3. Alright, they said as they held Izuku tightly. Bakugo: Detroit smash, he yelled as he punched Izuku in the face, making him nosebleed. Fear not, people, I have defeated the monster. Do you poop man? In class. Izuku: I can't take it anymore. Fight me, Kaken. Bakugo: what the heck are you talking about? Izuku: I don't want to play as the monster anymore. If I win, you have to promise to leave me alone. Bakugo smirks: guys, hold on to Deku for me since he is a quirkless loser. As he said that, 4 students grabbed Izuku from behind and by the arms, making sure that Bakugo would land a hit on him perfectly. While that was happening, his sister was watching him getting bullied. She wanted to do something but didn't. Izuku panicking: that's not fair. Let me go. I want to fight Kaken fair and square. He was sent to the principal's office yet again. Principal: the others say you suddenly went crazy when you were all playing around. Izuku in tears: that's not true. Kaken's popular, so everyone's making me out the bad guy. Principal yelling: that's not true. You did a bad thing. Go apologize to everyone right now. When he arrived home, he saw his parents eating dinner without him. He just ignored them and went to his room. Ever since, when the quirk doctor said I won't have a quirk, everyone has been calling me useless because of that. Even my own parents are ignoring me now. Flash forward to 8 years. Izuku dropped down from a roof he was on, waiting for when he saw the pro hero 𝗵𝘃𝗲 getting closer to him. Woods saw the green-haired boy's silhouette in the shadow and decided to investigate. The man walked for a little bit before seeing the boy walk out from the shadow, revealing himself. "𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗧, who are you and what are you doing here?" he said with his guard high. Before he could react, a punch connected straight to his jaw and sent him flying back on the ground. He got up and saw the man cracking his knuckles while looking at him with a cocky smirk. "Izuku, come on pro hero, don't tell me you're done already. I thought you would make this fight a challenge." After a while, Izuku had a slight nosebleed and a scratch on his right cheek. During their short fight, 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗧 realized he was quirkless, so he began to talk. "𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗧, this isn't a fair fight. You're quirkless and a kid. Surrender now and I'll take you while you're awake. Izuku, you know that's the thing I hate about all you heroes. You say you care for others, but I know what you people really like. You don't give a SHT if I live or die in this ally. You only care if I die because it would look bad on your record. 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗧, being honest here. I don't care if you live or die where you stand right now. I'm a hero, so I can do whatever I need, and people will believe me over a villain like yourself." As he finished his statement, he brung his arm up and pointed it up at Izuku. When he shot his arm toward Izuku's heart, but right before it made contact, the wooden arm snapped off and Woods flew into the side of one of the buildings surrounding them. Woods screamed out in pain as Izuku stared blankly at him. "𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗧, Woods, F this, I'll kill you on the spot," he yelled. He raised his arm and pointed it at Izuku as it began to grow more and more until it was good as new. He grew several other extra arms as he was going to stab him with all 8 of them. At this point, 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗧 knew Izuku will be dead. Izuku wasn't moving at all. He stood his ground, all while a smirk grew on his face. As the limbs got closer and closer towards Izuku, it looked like he was done for. But right there before it hit Izuku, his hands began to move with a blue stream following each one. He deflected each branch with little effort, and before Woods could react, Izuku was already in front of him. In a swift motion, Izuku swept out Woods' legs from under him and dove his fist down into his face. He followed through the punch, bringing him down onto the ground. Izuku only had a few scratches and a nosebleed, while 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗧 was left unconscious and stuck on the ground, surrounded by a large crater at least a foot deep underground. Izuku could hear the sirens, so it was best to leave it there. He jumped to the roof of a building nearby, leaving a crater on the ground, and began running away from the scene. After a while, he stopped and walked towards the forest and found his small hut soon after. He cleaned himself and sat on the dirty couch, seeming tired. "Izuku, it's really been almost a year, hasn't it?" Flashback 2 years ago, Izuku had been training with 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗧 since he was 14. Every day after school he would go to the dojo and train there for the rest of the day, and at night he would go home looking pretty tired. He continued to train until he was mastered at the fist of flowing water, crushed rock. His parents were slowly distancing themselves from Izuku, and Izuku didn't seem to care. Izumi would bully his brother and call him quirkless so that he wouldn't become a hero. Same with Bakugo. To protect him, Izuku was currently training with Silverfang and they were having a spar match. "Izuku, is that all? You got, old man?" he said with a PP grin. Soon after that statement, Bang slammed his knee in his stomach and Izuku was on the ground. "Bang, who are you calling old?" he said with a normal smile as he held his hand for him to get up. "Izuku, guess I should get used to it then, old man," he said as he received a head slap from someone behind. Izuku looked back to see 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗧, the emissary of Whirlwind Iron Cutting Fist. "Izuku, I'll take that as a warning," he said as Bang helped him get up. "𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗧, the first key of learning martial arts is respecting others." "Izuku, right, anyways, thanks for the training," answered Bang. "The UA entrance exam is in 10 months. Bang, you're ready as of right now, so just relax, okay?" "Izuku, yeah, you're right, thanks again, masters," he said with a smile as he left the dojo. 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗧, he suffered so much for just being quirkless. Bang, sadly yes. His own parents neglected him and his friends and classmates bullied him for that. Time skipped to Izuku getting home. Izuku opened the door and saw his parents having guests. His aunts, Endeavor and Night Eye. All their attention went towards Izuku as he walked in and went upstairs. He was dirty and had a few bruises on his body. "He's built like Garu at this point, Fubuki." "Izuku, what happened?" she asked in concern as she saw his body were full of scratches. Izuku, training, he muttered. He didn't look at them and proceed to walk upstairs. 𝗵𝘃𝗲 immediately looked at 𝗵𝘃𝗀 and asked, 𝗵𝘃𝗲, do you guys know about this? 𝗵𝘃𝗀 shook her head in response and said, 𝗵𝘃𝗀, sadly no, we never knew he was training. He's usually staying at his room this whole time playing video games. 𝗧𝗵𝗲, what a stupid parents you guys are. If that kid surpasses you, then I'm not surprised. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 said as she drank a beer. 𝗵𝘃𝗀, 𝗧𝗵𝗲, put that beer down, you've been drinking since you got here, and second no, Izuku is let's say endeavor. Yeah we know he is but look at Silverfang, he become a hero even though he was quirkless and mastered this water fist technique, plus I heard that he's been training Izuku, he said. I'd be surprised, speaking of which, how come Izuku isn't at any of those pictures on the wall, he asked as he scanned the family photos. 𝗵𝘃𝗀, like I said, Izuku has been playing video games and never goes down. Sometimes I want to punish him, but he's growing. 𝗵𝘃𝗀 replied. 𝗧𝗵𝗲, idiot, just look at his state, he used to look scrawny, now he looks like a bodybuilder. He was depressed. Maybe try and be a good parent for him. She nagged as they looked ashamed. Toshinori, right, ever since he was quirkless and his years went by, Izuku's life was full of pain, he was ignored, abused and tortured, but despite all of that, he still pushes himself to become a hero. Whatever Izumi pulls up, it won't work on him, cause this will only push him to become a hero. Izuku is now seen at school and pretty tired from yesterday's training with Bang. The teacher placed the papers on the table and said, Teacher, alright, good morning for you all. Now before we start our class, I want you all to write your future. I will each give you papers and vote better finish it all. He announced as everyone groans in annoyance. Teacher, who am I kidding? You all want to be heroes. The teacher said with a smug face and threw the papers in the air which caused the student cheer up as they activated their quirks. Teacher, yes, you all have wonderful quirks but you know it's against the rules to use them in public. Bakugo, hey teach. Don't lump me in with these extras. Bakugo rant again. As if I have anything like their crappy quirks. Izumi, easy there now Mr. Angry Guy. She said with a cocky grin. Students, you think you're better than us, Katsuki. They yelled. Bakugo, let's go I'll take you all on. Teacher, you've got impressive test results. Maybe you will get into you. Ahai. Student 1, he's gonna try for the national school. Student 2, that school has a 0.2% acceptance rate. Bakugo, that's exactly the only place worthy of me, he said as he jumped on his table. I aced all of the mock test. I'm the only one who stands a chance at getting in. I'll end up getting more popular than even All Might and the S-class themselves. Teacher, oh yeah Midoriya, you and your brother are going there too. Izumi just looked annoyed while Izuku just ignored everyone. Everyone began to laugh at Izuku. Student 1, Deku. You're kidding right? Student 2, there is no way you're getting in without a quirk. Student 3, quirkless loser. Bakugo used a small explosion and slammed his hand on his desk to intimidate Izuku, but to his surprise he was unfazed. Bakugo, there is no way they will accept a quirkless loser like you in a place like you. Izuku, okay. If it makes you feel better then say what you want to say, he said with a cold voice. Bakugo just backed off and let it slide. Bakugo, I better not see you there loser. Izumi, just give up Deku. It's no use. After school Izuku was now training for the next 10 months for the UA entrance exam. His training with Bang changed him both physically and mentally. He was cold but still wanted to become a hero. His whole life he had been called useless and had suffered a lot from something he can't control. Right now he had started to clean the Takoba Municipal Beach Park. Izuku, I mastered the flowing water fist fighting style so I'll just take it easy and clean this beach for the next 10 months. Present day Izuku was in tears as he was covering his eyes. Izuku, DMNU Toshinori, DMNU INKO, FU Izumi. You people ruined my life and my chance of becoming a hero. He yelled as he fell on his knees and sobbed. It's been almost 2 months since he left home. Flashback Izuku had now finished cleaning the beach and he had a week until the exam. He noticed that his dad was spending more time with Izumi than usual, but he didn't seem to care, so he let it off. It was currently nighttime and the whole family was eating dinner. Izumi, I can't wait till the UA exam. Toshinori, now calm down dear. You still need to prepare for it. Izumi, right, thanks a lot for helping me dad. He said with an excited tone. Izuku, yeah thanks for helping us dad. He muttered under his tone. Toshinori, what was that son? He asked confused. Izuku, nothing. Inko, what are you going to do for your future Izuku? Izuku, I don't know. He said coldly without making any eye contact. Toshinori, okay, what's wrong with you Izuku? He said getting straight to the point. Izuku, oh so now you ask me what's wrong. Where were you when I needed you? When I was being bullied, when I was suffering because I was quirkless. You were too busy doting on Izumi to even notice. And now you expect me to just smile and pretend everything's fine. Well, guess what? It's not fine. Toshinori, Izuki, he yelled in a loud tone as he got up from the dinner table and stormed off to his room. Toshi was taken back by so he got up and tried to talk to him but saw Inko placing her on his shoulder. Inko, Toshinori, maybe we should talk to him later. Toshinori, I didn't realize I didn't see how much he was hurting. Inko, I know you were trying to protect him and keep him safe from becoming a hero. Maybe try a different way. Toshinori, I'll talk to him tonight. Izumi, Dad, do you think he knows about that? Toshinori, no. If he did, it wouldn't look good. After dinner All Might knocked on Izuku's door but no answer. He knocked a few more times and when there was no answer he went straight in. Izuku wasn't there. Toshinori, Izuku. Izuku, where are you? Inko appeared in the doorway, her expression filled with worry as she saw the distress on Toshinori's face. Inko, Toshi, what's wrong? Toshinori, he's not here. He must be at his friend's house or your sister's. Inko, we should give him some space. Meanwhile Izuku was in the woods and was punching a massive rock out of angry. With one final blow the rock was completely smashed into pieces. Izuku, it's not like telling my problems will make me feel better, he said as he sat down. I'll do the entrance exam and join you. There is no point in trying to tell them my problems. And so Izuku stayed at the dojo that night and told Bang about the whole drama, to which he told him he can stay here tonight. The next morning he went home and saw his parents waiting for him. Inko, Izuku, we were worried sick. Toshi, where have you been this whole night? Izuku, a friend's house. He answered as he went upstairs to his room. The parents thought he was okay and that everything was back to normal, but they were wrong. Time skipped to the day of the entrance exam. Izuku woke up to his alarm blasting in his ear until he slammed his fist onto it. He quickly made his way downstairs and grabbed a quick snack before he started his way towards UA. He got there relatively early and made his way through the gates, but as he was admiring the surrounding structures and tripped on his own foot. Izuku prepared to catch himself but stopped once he realized he wasn't moving anymore. He was stuck in midair. He felt a hand on his shoulder start to pick him back up before the person released her quirk. She was a cute brunette girl with a nice bob cut. Hi, my name's Ochako Uraraka, she said as she held her hand out for Izuku to shake. Izuku, nice to meet you, he said as he shook her hand. Uraraka, sorry for using my quirk on you. I just didn't want you to trip and fall. It's bad luck right before the exam, Uraraka explained. Izuku, thanks, and good luck with the exams, he said with a smile. Uraraka, thanks, you too. With that, he made his way to a large room with a bunch of seats. He took a spot next to some random kids and listened as the ceremony begun. Nothing really happened during it besides some blue-haired kid with glasses yelling at someone for not taking it seriously. Izuku chuckled at the memory as he made his way to the starting gate. He looked around to see if Bakugo and Izumi were there. He knew they had to be in one of the testing areas. There was no way he wouldn't attempt to get into UA. He didn't see the bully around but say the bob-cut girl that helped him earlier and started to make his way towards her. But before he could get to her, a loud bitter went off and someone yelled out go as the doors flew open to the arena. Izuku quickly made his way with the crowd into the arena before looking around. Izuku, piece of cake. Izuku POV, that's another 15 points. He thought to himself as he destroyed the robot. His current point was 35 and it hasn't even been 2 minutes yet. Izuku continued to run throughout the fake city. He wanted to keep it low so that no one would ask him about his quirk or how he's so powerful. Meanwhile, at the behind scenes, the teachers and the principal were present and were witnessing everything. Nizu, clearly the contestants have no idea how many villains are present or their locations. They have limited time, must over a vast area, and hunt down every last target. Some use information-gathering abilities to plan out strategies, while others rely on speed to pull ahead of their peers. Of course, remaining calm under pressure can be a huge advantage, as can pure power and combat ability. The most successful students use a combination of all these tactics. Much like that kid with green hair. He said as he zoomed the camera on Izuku. Midnight? I'd say he will most definitely join you. That's for sure. Mike, yeah, no doubt. Snipe, well, there is still plenty of time before it's over. The real test is about to start, he said as he pushed a red button. All might, are right, he said nervously as he knew that green-haired boy was his own son. Meanwhile, a loud rumble and crash can be heard coming from the center of the arena. Izuku, it has to be one of those 0-pointers present. Mike was talking about. Better leave. Izuku turned to go back and get himself more smaller robots for points, but before he ran, he heard a familiar voice calling out for help. He turned back to see the same brunette girl that saved him earlier under rubble. Izuku POV. Izuku's legs began to sprint themselves towards the girl. He picked the large rubble from under, making 𝗬𝗧𝗏 realize that now was the time to leave. 𝗬𝗧𝗏, I thank you, she said as she ran off. Izuku dropped the rubble and got up to a building near the 0-pointer. He was going to fight this thing when he noticed someone jumping from under it. Izuku, huh? Meanwhile, with Izumi with one for all coursing through her legs, Izumi takes a huge leap all the way up to the robot's head level. Recalling her dad's advices about how to use her quirk, Izumi conjures the power of one for all in her right arm and destroys the giant robot in a single and powerful smash. All the other participants watched Izumi in awe while Nizu praised Izuku for his self-sacrifice. Izumi landed on one of the buildings using her telekinesis quirk. All the other students began to look at her in awe as they all cheered and clapped their hands. Izuku just looked at her with annoyance as he began to walk away from the crowd. Izuku, she's always the center of attention. Later that day, Tatsumaki and Fubuki were at Inko's house and they were all celebrating Izumi's acts during the exam. They were all in the living room currently and Izuku was upstairs in his room. Inko, great work honey, I'm sure you will be accepted in you. Izumi, thanks mom, she said with a smile while drinking juice. Tatsumaki, oh don't be sure she is going to be accepted, she said while drinking her shot. To Izumi, she said as everyone else cheered their drinks. After a while they all calmed down and Toshinori spoke. Toshi, there is something I need to say everyone, it's about Izuku, he said quietly so he couldn't hear them downstairs. Inko, what did he do again? She said in annoyance. Tatsumaki, idiot, she said as she slapped Inko's head at the back. Toshi, guys stop. Anyways, I saw him during the entrance exam. There was now complete silence until Fubuki spoke. Fubuki, what do you mean he was there? She asked confused. Toshi, believe it or not, he was doing really great during the exam. It wasn't like anything I had ever seen. He had a total of 79 points in combat and 60 rescue points. Inko, that's insane. Fubuki, wait, that means he's going to be accepted into you. Toshi, which is why we can't let that happen. All. Tatsumaki, that's the worst idea and possibly the worst thing you could say that. My question is why? Toshi, because I've seen firsthand the dangers of the hero world. The risks, the sacrifices. I don't want Izuku to face that. I don't want him to endure the same pain I did, to carry the weight of protecting others on his shoulders. Inko's eyes softened with understanding, her voice gentle as she responded. Inko, you're not the only who face danger honey. I think you're right, we can't let him get in you. Even if he hates us for it. Fubuki, how are we going to prevent that? She asked in a concerned tone. Look, I get it, he's my nephew and I can't see him get hurt. Tatsumaki, you guys have lost your minds. Izumi, it's for the best Aunt Tatsu. All our childhood I made sure he wouldn't become a hero even if it meant bullying him. I love him with all my heart, and I'd do anything to keep him safe, she said in a sorrow tone. Tatsumaki, fine, but only for Izuku. What are we going to do? Toshi, leave it to me. Throughout the week Izuku was just chilling and relaxing. After all he had to do now was wait until he gets his acceptance. Izuku was now in the park just walking by. Izuku POV, it's been 6 days since the exam. Tomorrow the letter will come, so I'll have to be at home the whole day. While Izuku was thinking about that, he came across a group of crowd and it seemed like they were fans. They were all screaming his name. Some pointed at the roof of a building. Fan 1, Ice All Might. Fan 2, wow. Fan 3 and so on. All Might, All Might, All Might, All Might. Izuku POV, why is he here? He thought as he noticed All Might looking at him. All Might jumped into the sky and left the scene, leaving everyone in awe. He also left a crater on the building he was on. Izuku POV, that was weird. Izuku proceeded to walk towards his house as it was turning afternoon. He walked into an alleyway and before he could finish his way, he heard a voice calling him. All Might, if it isn't young Yagi, he greeted in a booming voice, surprising Izuku. Izuku, oh wow, All Might, he said with a slight smile and joy. Wait, how do you know my name? All Might, that doesn't matter, young man, anyways. I saw you during the exam and was quite impressed by your actions. You seemed quite strong. Izuku, well, thanks a lot, he said. All Might, now young man, I'm here to tell you something quite overwhelming. I've noticed you didn't use your quirk during the exams. I did some diggings through your files and found out that you were Izuku, quirkless. Izuku finished, seeming disappointed. All Might, why yes Izuku, All Might, could someone without a quirk become a hero? Can I hope to be a hero like you? Izuku asked in a hopeful tone. All Might, I know it might be wrong to do this, but I'm afraid you can't be a hero. Izuku's heart sank as All Might's words hung heavy in the air. His dreams of becoming a hero shattered before his eyes, the weight of disappointment pressing down on him like a leaden burden. Izuku, I don't understand. I've trained so hard. I've pushed myself beyond my limits. How can you say I can't be a hero? All Might's expression softened with empathy, his gaze filled with sorrow as he struggled to find the right words. All Might, it's not about your determination or your strength, young man. It's about the reality of the world we live in, the dangers that heroes face every day. Without a quirk, the risks are simply too great. I can't in good conscience allow you to put yourself in harm's way. Izuku's fists clenched at his sides, a whirlwind of emotions raging within him. Anger, frustration, and despair threatened to consume him whole. Izuku, but I can't just give up. Being a hero is all I've ever wanted. It's who I am. All Might placed a comforting hand on Izuku's shoulder, his voice gentle but firm as he spoke. All Might, I understand how you feel, young Yagi. But sometimes, the path we longing isn't the path we're meant to take. There are other ways to make a difference in this world, other ways to help those in need. Izuku's shoulders slumped in defeat, the weight of All Might's words settling upon him like a heavy cloak. Izuku, what am I supposed to do now? Without a quirk, without the chance to be a hero, All Might, I'm sorry son, but it's just too dangerous without having a quirk. There are plenty of ways to help people out, still. Join the police, work at an agency, or you could even join a support course and really help heroes out. But you can't be a hero without a quirk. Those words hurt Izuku in the chest really bad. All Might turned away from Izuku and started to walk out from the alleyway. Before he could leave, Izuku yelled at him. Izuku, All Might, I've spent my whole life looking up to you, and you crush my purpose like that. He yelled in anger. All Might, I'm sorry son, but I never wanted to hurt you or your feelings, but as a hero I have to protect the weak and bring justice. And with that he left the alleyway. Izuku just fell on his knees, completely overwhelmed by the sudden encounter. Izuku, how could he say that? All Might, the symbol of peace, the greatest hero of all time, he's supposed to inspire hope, not crush it. Tears welled up in Izuku's eyes, his vision blurred by the haze of his turbulent emotions. For so long, he had held on to the belief that he could defy the odds, that he could become a hero despite being quirkless. But now, faced with the harsh reality of All Might's words, that belief crumbled like fragile glass, leaving behind only a hollow ache. Izuku POV, you know what F this. Izuku said as he got up and wiped his tears. He walked home and was silent the entire way while listening to Juice WRLD playlist. JKBTW. Once he got home he went straight upstairs ignoring his parents' calls. Inko, Izuku. Toshi, where have you been? Izuku jumped on his bed feeling tired from everything. I'm fine. Few hours later Inko, just what did you tell him? Toshi, what I had to. Inko, no please tell me you didn't, she said in a shocked tone. Toshi, I had to do it. Inko, sighs at least he's not going you. Right. Toshi, yeah, he said in a sorrow tone. Izumi, I wish there was another way, Toshi, I hoped so, but sadly there is none. The next day the letter came and Izuku didn't bother to open it. Since his dreams were crushed by the one person he looked up to, it didn't matter anyway. Izuku, I hate you with all my heart, All Might, and I hope you die, he said as he went back to sleep. And hey guys, hope you're enjoying the story so far. The next chapter will be uploaded tomorrow night and please comment your opinion and suggestions and I'll see if I can add them on the story. Bye for now Izumi, I got accepted in you. She said with an excited tone as Inko and Toshi were hugging her and feeling proud. Toshi, I'm proud of you Izumi. Izumi, it was all thanks to you Dad. She said as she hugged her tightly. Inko, now darling we must celebrate this tonight. Izumi, great I'll go and tell Izuku. Meanwhile Izuku's anger erupted like a volcano, his room bearing the brunt of his rage. He flung objects against the walls, the sounds of impact echoing through the air. His hands shook with frustration as he overturned furniture and tore through his belongings, the room quickly descending into chaos. He punched the mirrors, walls, teared his pillow apart, heck he even made a crater on the ground from punching it so hard. Tears streamed down his face as he vented his pent-up emotions, the destruction serving as a release for his overwhelming disappointment and despair. He got up and looked at himself in the mirror. Izuku, it's not fair. Izumi opened the door and saw a horrific sight of the scene. She saw Izuku's hands bloody red, his eyes with red marks and dark circle under it. She looked around the room and saw the chaos. Izumi, Deku, what happened? She said. Izuku just looked at her with bloodlusted eyes and was about to give her the most brutal insults he could think of. Izuku, call me Deku again and see what happens you twisted beach. Izumi, what's wrong with you? Izuku please, I didn't mean to upset you. I just wanted to share my good news. She said in a slight tear. Izuku, good news? What's good about it? You think you're better than me now that you got into you? You think you're some kind of hero. Guess what? You're as worthless as and nt. Izumi, Izuku, please you're not alone. We're in this together, remember. No matter what happens, I'll always be there for you. But Izuku's despair was all-consuming, his hope extinguished by the harsh reality of his circumstances. Izuku, I don't need your pity, Izumi. I don't need anything, Izumi. Izuku, please I never meant to make you feel this way. I never wanted to hurt you. But Izuku's anger burned like a wildfire, his words cutting deep into her heart like shards of glass. Izuku, hurt me. You don't have the slightest clue, Izumi. You don't know what it's like to be me, to live with this burden every single day. Inko and Toshinori walked upstairs and saw what happened so they asked. Toshi, what happened? Inko, Izuku what did you do? She asked in shock. Izuku's gaze flicked from his parents to Izumi, his eyes burning with an intensity that sent shivers down their spines. Izuku, what does it matter? You never cared about me anyway. His words hung heavy in the air, each syllable dripping with bitterness and resentment. Inko's heart twisted with guilt, her eyes brimming with tears as she struggled to find the right words to say. Inko, Izuku, please we're your family. We love you no matter what. But Izuku's anger was a wildfire, consuming everything in its path. He turned away from them, his fists shaking with fury as he fought to control the storm raging inside him. Izuku, love, don't make me laugh. You've never understood me, any of you. You're all just like everyone else, looking down on me because I'm quirkless. Toshi's heart ached at his son's words, a deep sense of regret settling in the pit of his stomach. He stepped forward, his voice soft but filled with remorse. Toshi, Izuku, we never meant to hurt you. We only wanted what was best for you. Izuku's face suddenly changed. Izuku, what do you mean by that? This meme was stuck in my head ever since I made him say that skull loudly crying face. This meme was stuck in my head ever since I made him say that skull loudly crying face. Toshi realized what he had just said. He had inadvertently let slip the very thing he had been trying to conceal from Izuku. He exchanged a worried glance with Inko, both of them unsure of how to proceed. Toshi, Izuku, I didn't mean. His voice was low and dangerous, a hint of desperation underlying his words. Toshi felt a lump form in his throat as he struggled to find the right words to explain himself. Toshi, Izuku, please, it's not what you think. But Izuku's patience had worn thin, his frustration bubbling to the surface once more. Izuku, tell me, Dad. Tell me what you're hiding from me. Inko whispering, Toshi, I think we have to tell him. Toshi whispering, fine. Inko, Izuku, sweetheart, please, let us explain. But Izuku's gaze remained fixed on his father, his expression hardened with determination. Izuku, I deserve to know the truth. Don't try to give me advice. Toshi's heart clenched with guilt as he realized there was no avoiding it any longer. He took a deep breath, steeling himself for what was to come. Toshinori, Izuku, he said as he transformed into his buff form. Izuku. He just looked at him in disbelief. You're All Might. All Might / Toshi, Izuku, I'm sorry. Izuku, wait, hold on. This whole time you were that I looked up to throughout my whole childhood. You told me I couldn't be a hero. It was yesterday. Toshi, Izuku, I wanted to protect you. I didn't want you to feel the pressure of living up to my legacy. But Izuku's mind was reeling, his thoughts a tangled mess of confusion and hurt. Izuku, protect me. You lied to me. You made me believe I was worthless, that I could never be a hero. You took away my dreams. His voice trembled with suppressed emotion, his fists clenched at his sides. Toshi hung his head, unable to meet his son's gaze. Toshi, Izuku, I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. I thought I was doing what was best for you. But Izuku's anger burned bright and fierce, his pain fueling the flames of his resentment. Izuku, best for me? How could lying to me be best for me? How could crushing my dreams be best for me? His voice cracked with emotion, tears threatening to spill from his eyes. Inko stepped forward, her heart breaking at the sight of her son's pain. Inko, Izuku, please, your father only wanted to protect you. He loves you more than anything. But Izuku's heart was heavy with betrayal, his trust shattered into a million pieces. Izuku, love. If this is what love looks like, then I want no part of it. All of you people can kill yourselves. Inko's heart shattered at his words, her own anguish bubbling to the surface. With a trembling hand, she raised it high and delivered a sharp slap across Izuku's cheek. Izuku just looked at her in disbelief. Inko, how dare you speak to your father like that? He's only ever tried to do what's best for you, to keep you safe. Izuku just looked at her in anger. Izumi, guys, can we stop this? Before she could finish her sentence, Izuku punched her to the wall, making a crack on the room. Izumi, Izuku, she said in disbelief as she was nosebleeding. Inko, Izumi, she screamed as she went to check on her. Izuku, tease you people dis. But before he could finish his sentence, All Might's fist collided with his jaw, sending him sprawling to the ground. The room fell silent. Inko and Izumi just looked in disbelief. All Might stood over him, his expression a mix of disappointment and regret. His voice was heavy with sorrow as he addressed his son. All Might, Izuku, I never wanted it to come to this. I'm sorry for the pain I've caused you. Izuku's mind raced with conflicting emotions, his anger warring with the flicker of understanding in his father's eyes. He pushed himself up from the ground, his body trembling. Izuku, Izuku's anger simmered beneath the surface, a raging scream within him. With a primal roar, he launched himself at All Might, his fists flying with reckless abandon. Izuku and All Might face off, the air thick with tension and anticipation. Izuku's swift strikes meet All Might's powerful blows in a clash that shakes the very walls. Debris scatters as their battle rages on. After a few minutes, Izuku was punched through the house and was outside in the streets. "Izuku, this isn't over, All Might," he said as he jumped on a moving truck. Inko just cried and Izumi began to comfort her. All Might transformed back to his skinny form and comforted Inko. "Toshi, I can't believe it, Inko, it's our fault." Izumi, teeth. She gritted her teeth in frustration. Time skip to a few hours. Izuku, I'll have to sneak back in and get my stuff. I'll just go to the old man for a few nights. He thought to himself as he jumped out the truck. He was miles away from home and near the dojo up in the mountains. He began walking the rest of the way and climbed up the mountains. Once he got there, he saw Bang drinking tea. Izuku took off his shoe and went inside. "Bang, Izuku, what are doing here at this hour of the night? Wait, why are you all beaten up, Izuku?" "Hey, Sir Bang, I see, can I stay here for a few nights?" he said in a quiet and embarrassed tone. Bang, "Oh Izuku, what happened now?" Izuku began to tell him the events after he took the entrance exam. Him seeing All Might and what he told him. The fact that his idol told him he can't become a hero without a quirk made Izuku tear up again. He then told him about his fight with his dad or the #1 hero as he found out this morning. Bang, "It's going to be fine, Izuku, you can stay here as long as you want." Izuku, "Thanks, he said as he bowed down. Time skipped to the next day. Izuku was now wearing a tight, black, long-sleeved shirt, loose-fitting white martial arts pants, a yellow sash around his waist. He was going home to get his stuff and leave without anyone noticing him. As he got closer to his alley, he could see the police investigating the house. "Izuku, DMN, I need to be quick." Peering through the window, Izuku scanned the room for any signs of movement. The chaos from the previous night still lingered, but the space appeared empty. Taking a deep breath to steel his nerves, he quietly slid open the window and slipped inside. He was in his destroyed room. He quickly grabbed a backpack and put a few essential things. Money, phone, clothes, a first aid kit he found in his desk, ID, and lastly his AirPods so he can listen to Juice WRLD when he's feeling depressed. LMAO. He began stuffing them into a backpack with practiced efficiency. Just as he was about to make his escape, a voice echoed from the doorway, freezing him in his tracks. "Voice, hold it right there." Izuku's blood ran cold as he turned to face the source of the voice. Standing in the doorway was a police officer, their gaze fixed squarely on him. "Police officer, what are you doing here? This is a crime scene." Izuku's mind raced as he searched for a way out. With a surge of adrenaline, he made a split-second decision and bolted for the window. But before he could reach it, a strong hand grabbed hold of his shoulder, stopping him in his tracks. It was his own father. "All Might, you're not going anywhere, young man, you gav." Before he could finish his sentence, he was punched in the face and got pushed back, letting his grip loose. This was his chance. Izuku jumped out the broken window and began sprinting faster than a horse. The police made a report and few more police cars appeared in the scene. But Izuku was long gone. "What happened here?" All Might wiping his blood. "𝗬𝗂𝗁𝗍. Officer 1, 2, 3, Detective 𝗬𝗂𝗁𝗍, sir." They all saluted him. "𝗬𝗂𝗁𝗍, what happened here, All Might?" All Might hesitated for a moment, his gaze flickering with uncertainty. He knew he couldn't reveal the truth about Izuku's identity as his son, not with the police involved. But he also couldn't lie to Detective 𝗬𝗂𝗁𝗍, a trusted ally and friend. "All Might, there was an altercation, a family dispute. Things got out of hand." 𝗬𝗂𝗁𝗍's expression darkened, a flicker of concern crossing his features. "𝗬𝗂𝗁𝗍, is everyone all right?" All Might glanced back at the doorway, his heart heavy with guilt. "All Might, Izuku, he's gone." The weight of those words hung heavy in the air, the gravity of the situation sinking in. Detective 𝗬𝗂𝗁𝗍's eyes narrowed, his mind already racing with possibilities. "𝗬𝗂𝗁𝗍, it's going to be fine, we'll find him." Meanwhile, Izuku was breathing heavily as he stopped sprinting. He was now finally at the mountains and he began going up. He was now at the doorsteps of the dojo. Izuku, guess I'm not cut out to be a hero. It had been 3 days since he stayed at Bang's dojo. During this time, Izuku had come to a conclusion that heroes were just a bunch of pieces of shits who only do their jobs for money and fame. He was now a completely different person. The police and the heroes are looking for him. Izuku, I'll wipe out all the heroes and rebuild this world from scratch. Currently Izuku was training with Bang's disciples. They were all doing martial poses and training. Bang was currently out, doing hero work, so it was only Izuku, Sour Face and the rest of the disciples. Izuku stopped and stood in one place. Izuku, I'm tired of this. Sour Face, huh? He asked confused. What do you mean? Izuku, there's nothing else I can learn here, let's have an actual fight. Bang, what have you done Izuku? Bang, never come back ever again. He said as a beaten-up Izuku was leaving the dojo for beating up the rest of the disciples. After Bang returned from his hero work, he saw the massacre Izuku had done. He brutally beat the living shit out of him and expelled him from the dojo. After that day, Izuku was living in a hut in a forest outside town, similar to Garu's hideout in the woods. Izuku, I will hunt down every last hero there is on this planet. Izuku had begun hunting down every hero he saw. Heroes such as Gunhead, Fourth Kind, Death Arms, Majestic, Vinsar Driller, Funkman, SHT tone of C-class heroes such as Tank Top Vegetarian, Battery Man, a few unknown C-class heroes and last but not least 𝗬𝗲𝗿𝗺𝗺. Izuku was known as the hero hunter and was popular among both heroes and villains. During these 2 months of Izuku's hero hunting, a lot of events have happened. The 𝗬𝗃 incident, Sports Festival, Deep Sea King incident, which was taken care of by an unknown hero, and the alien invasion. Present Izuku was walking by the road near the forest as he encounters a C-class hero. Izuku, you must be a hero if I'm right, so it's hunting time. Human Rider, I'm Human Rider. What's this about hunting? He asked as he stepped out of his bike. You're not one of my fans. Izuku, well guess what, you're right. He said with a grin. Help me become a true monster. Izuku POV, the more I defeat the more monstrous I grow. We found you. Is it really him? You were easy to find. Izuku, huh? Izuku looked behind and sees an entire group of muscular men behind him. He sees a familiar face before realizing who it was. Tank Top Vegetarian, we owe you for the other day, hero hunt. Before he could finish his sentence, Izuku knocks him out with a single punch and derides the unconscious hero. Tank Top Vegetarian, Izuku, are you here seeking vengeance? Tank Top Vegetarian. I left you with an inch of your life, and now you throw that life away. That's some next level stupid. Your musclehead friends won't be leaving alive either, he said with a cocky smirk, now die. Before he can land a blow, he is punched by something and sent crashing several meters. Izuku, what? I heard you gave my guy a hard time. Izuku, S-class. Ichi. He laughed in excitement, I've caught a big one. Yahoo, now I'm pumped. Tank Top 𝗵𝗃 raises his fist and punches the concrete floor as he uses his tank top blow to unbalance Izuku, and then rushes at him, using his tank top tackle, sending Izuku flying. Tank Top 𝗵𝗃, tank top tackle. Tank Top Tiger, way to go 𝗵𝗃. Now that BSE. Before they could finish, they saw Izuku as he spins in the air and lands delicately on the ground, shocking the other Tank Top members. Tank Top 𝗵𝗃 is shocked by his resistance. Tank Top 𝗵𝗃, who in the hell is this guy? Is he even human? Few moments later, Tank Top Mask, another hit. Tank Top Black Hole, the Tank Top Punch. Tank Top Jungle, a tank top allows ease of motion for twice the power. The rest of the Tank Topper army is convinced that Izuku is almost done, but Tank Top 𝗵𝗃 is not so convinced. Tank Top 𝗵𝗃 POV. He's human, there is no doubt about it, but Izuku coughs up BLD. And when he looks back up, he sees Tank Top 𝗵𝗃 preparing to punch him too. Izuku coughs up BLD, and when he looks back up, he sees Tank Top 𝗵𝗃 preparing to punch him. Tank Top 𝗵𝗃, Sorry, but I'm finishing you off. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧 in the way of his punch. 𝗳𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗲 𝗵𝗃𝗃, aren't you ashamed of yourself? An S-class hero killing a mere punk. The fight is over already. He's hurt so bad he can't even move. Tank Top Racer, huh? What are you talking about? Tank Top Jungle, he shouldn't have been picking a fight with heroes. Tank Top Tiger, you idiot. You're just a C-class rank 1 anyway. Tank Top Black Hole, out of the way. We're gonna teach him fear. Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗲, that's enough guys. He's right, I didn't 𝗵𝘃𝗲 Tank Top to fight ordinary people. Izuku POV, the hell are these guys talking about? He thought to himself when he heard Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗲 calling him. Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗲, hey, if you've learned your lesson, swear that you'll never hurt anyone ever again. Izuku turned back and seemingly walked away. Izuku, fine, sorry for causing trouble. He turned around, as if, I'm still gonna kill all of you. Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗲, yeah, I figured much. I'll take care of you here and now. Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗲 was prepared for such an outcome and punches Izuku in the face, but this time, Izuku is able to counterattack with 𝗬𝗲𝗏 by using the momentum he gained from Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗲's punch to increase the power of his punch, which goes in the direction of the hero's punch. His face. Izuku, whoops. I just used the old man's technique. Izuku, whoops. I just used the old man's technique. God, I wanted to avoid it so much. Oh well, no need to be picky. Izuku proceeds to dominate Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗲 with a series of punches, with each one following a blue water stream, and then with a final attack which slams the S-class hero into the wall, fracturing it several meters horizontally. Tank Top's, whoa, Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗲 was bleeding from all over his face and was now on his knees as the hero hunter was standing on top of him. Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗲 POV, he hid his true power. Izuku, an S-class hero on his knees. Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗏, don't be ridiculous, I was simply caught off guard. Izuku, really? He mocked him, then I'll surprise you again. Sit there and watch as the monster Izuku Yagi eradicates your entire crew. Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗏, Izuku Yagi. You're All Might's son. Izuku, I never knew him, he said coldly as he began walking towards the Tank Tops. Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗏, wait. Don't touch them. 𝗵𝘃𝗏, Justice Crash. He attempts to stop Izuku, only to have his head bashed against the ground. He repeatedly bashes his head into the ground, causing a pool of BLD to form around his head. Izuku then holds 𝗵𝘃𝗏's head up to the rest of the Tank Top army and taunts them to come and fight him. Izuku, see this. Now it's your turn. Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗏, what is I? Mustering up the last of his strength, Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗏 attempts to take Izuku by surprise, but Izuku predicts the hero's moves and punches behind him and hits Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗏's face. As Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗏's consciousness slowly fades, he falls to the ground, defeated. Izuku, I'm done with you. Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗏. Now then, I guess I'd better clean up the rest of you. Attempting to avenge their fallen leader, half a dozen of the Tank Top members attempt to rush Izuku, to which he effortlessly knocks them out using his water stream rock smashing fist. One of the remaining Tank Top members attempts to punch Izuku, but the hero hunter dodges, jumps up against the wall, and elbows the Tank Top member in the head. Izuku proceeds to beat down the remaining Tank Toppers through some unknown means, or rather for fun. Izuku, guess that's a great way to make myself stronger, he said to himself as he began walking away. The next day, All Might, wait, what? He yelled in a surprised tone on the phone as he got up from his chair. All Might, right, are you sure that was him? On the phone, without a doubt, if you ask me, it was all your fault it came to this. I've already asked Bang and Bomb to help me find him and maybe put a sense to him. Although this isn't the first time he's done this. He hunted a lot of C-class hero and low-ranking heroes, but now he hunted a few pro heroes, and with Tank Top 𝗵𝘃𝗏 on the line, he's going to be noticed by the public. And it's bad news for you since he might expose you for what you did to him. All Might, alright, I'll figure it out later. Let me know if you find him. Gran Torino, Toshi, he won't forgive you if he finds out you gave one for all to Izumi and not him. Since she already has a quirk and Izuku doesn't, it wouldn't make sense on why you did that, but I respect your decision. All Might. Thanks Gran Torino, let me know if you need anything. Hangs up. Meanwhile Kirishima, did you guys see the news? Kaminari, yeah, the hero hunter fought tank top 𝗵𝗃𝗲. Zero, B but how? Mineta, I know right. He's an S-class. Sue, apparently the entire tank top army quit the Hero Association because they were beaten up by him. Lita, fear not my fellow classmates 𝗬𝗪 bakugo, shut the F up 4 eyes. Lita, oh my great lord. Bakugo, how can you say such violence words? He yelled sounding like an NPC. Bakugo POV, is it really that nerd? It's all my fault. Because of me he's a villain now. Izumi, guys can you calm down now? It's only one guy, I bet the other heroes will beat him regardless I hope. She said quietly. Uraraka, why does he do these things? She said disappointed. Izumi, Bakugo, suddenly Aizawa came in. Aizawa, alright class, wear your P uniforms, we'll be heading towards the training ground. Everyone, right? Meanwhile, what do you think 𝗵𝗃𝗲, should we recruit him? Shigaraki, I think we should wait. The will. Shigi, no. He's right. Tamura, wait for the right time. Shigi, right, we'll do what 𝗵𝗃𝗲 tell us. Kurogiri. Kurogiri, WF. Meanwhile Stitch, I told you people the hero hunter is dangerous. Busho, he's already taken out tank top 𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗏, who know what he'll do next. C branch operator, the hero hunter isn't the only problem, monster appearances have increased for the past 2 months. Jinzurin, a lot of heroes are out of commission and quit from the association, we have to get rid of him. Stitch, but how? Busho, we could ask a stronger S-class to take the hero hunter out. Stitch, try that and see how it goes. What's the threat level right now? C branch operator, without a doubt it's Tiger at max. Stitch, good, it will give us some time to prepare. Meanwhile the news, breaking news, the mysterious hero hunter has yet again took out another hero this week, and it's none other than tank top 𝗵𝗃𝗏. The tank top army, once a formidable force within the Hero Association, has disbanded following their defeat at the hands of this enigmatic vigilante. With tank top 𝗵𝗃𝗲 defeated, many are left wondering who will be the next target of the hero hunter's relentless pursuit. Elsewhere, in a secluded hideout, Izuku smirked as he watched the news report on a small TV screen. Izuku, just wait till I dismantle this society, Toshinori Yagi. He said with an evil grin. It's been a day since that night's encounter between Izuku and the tank top army. He was currently walking around a quiet area of town until he noticed a kid sitting on one of the park benches reading a book. In a blink of an eye, Izuku was next to the kid. Izuku, hey Gaki. He looked up. Izuku, looks like you're reading something interesting. Oh, I'm okay. Izuku, what's your name, kid? Kota. After a few minutes of talking, Kota becomes friendly towards him. Kota, this guy's the S-class hero king. He's the strongest one of all. This is the number 3 hero hawks, he's so cool. He patrols my neighborhood sometimes. Look, I even got his autograph. Izuku, his autograph. I'd love his autograph too. Could you introduce me to him sometime? Kota, you must like heroes 𝗧𝗪𝗎𝗀. Izuku, I guess you could say that. Kota, are you a hero too? Izuku, he stayed silent for a few seconds before speaking. Guess you could say that again. He lied. They just sat on the bench while Kota was going through pages. Izuku, whoa. What the heck? They even have monsters in here. Isn't that exciting? Kota, I guess some of them are, but why are you excited? They're super scary. Izuku, it's better that they're scary, he said as he grabbed the book. Don't you think they're cooler that way? Kota, I guess they do. You still got weird taste, 𝗧𝗪𝗎𝗀. Izuku, I'm so envious. I'd love to be in this book too. Kota, I don't like heroes all that much anyway, except maybe a few. Izuku, what? Kota tells him his past and a few years ago about how he lost his parents during a villain attack, how both of them were heroes. Izuku, sorry to hear that, kid. Good for you for not liking heroes, Gaki. He said as he got up and pat on his head. Kota, Your personality sucks, 𝗳𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗧𝗏. Izuku, well then time to go patrolling. I'm heading off. See ya later, kid. Koda, careful in your patrolling, 𝗳𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗧𝗏. Izuku, sure, also stop calling me 𝗳𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗧𝗏, he said as he began walking away. Koda, I couldn't hear you. Izuku, get lost, Gaki. Few moments later, Izuku POV, hero killer 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Apparently, he kills a lot of heroes during these past weeks. Let's pay him a visit. According to that guidebook, he hunts heroes at Hosu. That's a 30-minute train from here. Should be easy. Flashback after brutally murdering 17 heroes and injuring 23 beyond recovery, hero killer 𝗧𝗵𝗲 becomes a scourge on the entire hero community. Flashback ends. Izuku took a train and set off to Hosu City District. After a long ride, he was finally there. Bang! Izuku looked from the station to see a 𝗵𝗄 attacking a nearby train, which happens to harbor a few people he knows in there. His so-called 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 Gran Torino and Izumi, along with the other two geezers, Bang and Bomb. Izuku, the hell is that thing? Meanwhile, Izumi, 𝗵𝗄. Gran Torino, I want you to stay back, you hear me, kid? Bang, we'll handle it. Gran Torino tackles the 𝗵𝗄 off the train and soon was followed by Bang and Bomb. Izumi, Grandpa. Masters. Train conductor, everyone please. Remain calm. Return to your seats. The villain is no longer here. More heroes will arrive soon, I'm sure, he said to the scared crowd. Izumi walked towards the huge train hole the 𝗵𝗄 made. Izumi, keep them calm, I'm going after him. Train conductor, hey, are you stupid? It's way too dangerous out there. Izumi exits the train to search for Gran Torino and the two masters. Izumi POV, how in the hell is there another one, although he looks different than the one from USJ? I'll have to find them before things get out of control. No time for thinking, gotta put my training to the test. Izumi, one for all, full cowling. Izumi jumps through rooftops and searches the city for Gran Torino. Meanwhile, the 𝗵𝗄 Gran Torino's fighting recovers and attacks nearby civilians. Civilian, screaming before the 𝗵𝗄 could attack, Bomb uses his whirlwind iron-cutting fist to destroy the ground beneath the 𝗵𝗄, making it go unbalanced, giving Bang a chance to deliver several blows to it rapidly with each hand following a blue stream. The 𝗵𝗄 was about to respond but was quickly kicked in the face by Gran Torino. Gran Torino, I haven't fought this earnestly in years. Picked a fine time to patrol. Bomb could say the same. Bang, count me out. The 𝗵𝗄 recovered and was about to attack again when it was suddenly on fire. The three old men looked behind to see 𝗎𝗏𝗏 with his palm out. 𝗎𝗏𝗏, I was looking for the hero killer here, but this thing will have to do, he said while the 𝗵𝗄 was howling in pain. Sorry for the delay, old-timers. Bang, and you still haven't learned your manners, he said with a small smile. 𝗎𝗏𝗏, I can handle this from here on out. Civilian 1, whoa, look, it's the number 2 hero. Civilian 2, why is he in Hosu? 𝗎𝗏𝗏 smirking, isn't it obvious? I came here because I'm a hero. Meanwhile, Izumi was running from the current location, which was a street in fire. There were two 𝗵𝗄s and they were fighting manual with his team. The agency leader was doing his apprenticeship. Izumi, damn it, Leader-kun, don't tell me, she said to herself while running to find Lida. Meanwhile, Shigaraki and Kurogiri were on one of the roofs, spectating the whole play. Shigaraki, the 𝗵𝗄 makes such great playthings. Kurogiri, are you not going to participate in the fight? Shigaraki, don't be stupid. I'm still injured from that BSTRD stain. That's why I brought those pets with us. Laughs like a maniac. Once this night is over, the world will have forgotten you ever existed, hero killer. Meanwhile, Izuku, just wait till I find you, hero killer, he said to himself with a smirk as he was running through the chaos in streets. Meanwhile, Lida, my body won't move. Izumi, what do we do now, damn it? Todoroki, is this how it ends? They all said as Stain licked his sword with their BLD on it, making them freeze completely. Stain, you kids are pathetic. As Stain prepares to strike, he senses a presence behind him and turns to see Izuku stepping into the alleyway, a confident smirk on his face. The air crackles with tension as the two formidable fighters lock eyes. Stain, who the hell are you? Izuku smirking, nice meeting you hero killer. Izumi POV, who is this guy? Wait, why does he look familiar? No, it can't be. She thought to herself in disbelief as she looked at her brother. Izumi, Izuku just ignored her and continued to talk to Stain. Stain, so you're the kid that beat Tank Top and Mr. Hero Hunter. Izuku, well done, Peanut Head, I'm here to put you in a wheelchair for good. Stain, based on that look, you're here for a fight. I'll teach you a lesson, you punk. Unfazed by Stain's words, cracks his knuckles and adopts a fighting stance, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. Izuku, teach me a lesson, I've heard that one before. Let's see what you got. With a sudden burst of speed, Stain lunges forward, aiming to catch Izuku off guard with his deadly blades. But Izuku effortlessly dodges, his movements fluid and precise. He retaliates with a barrage of swift punches, each strike aimed with pinpoint accuracy. Stain manages to evade some of Izuku's attacks, his agility matching that of his opponents. With a swift counter, he slashes at Izuku with his blades, leaving shallow cuts across Izuku's body. But Izuku merely smirks, seemingly unfazed by the injuries. Stain, let's see how you can fight now, he said as he raised his to lick Izuku's BLD, but to his surprise the blade was broken, and the other half was in Izuku's hand. He wiped the BLD off and threw it over to Stain. Izuku, no cheating, dipshit. Stain. TC. With Stain's blade broken and his plan foiled, Izuku presses his advantage, launching a relentless assault on the hero killer. His punches land with ferocity, each blow fueled by his amusement to fight Stain. Stain, caught off guard by Izuku's sudden burst of power, struggles to keep up with the younger fighter's speed and strength. Despite his skill in combat, he finds himself on the defensive, forced to evade Izuku's relentless barrage. Izuku, you thought you were the only one with tricks up your sleeve, His voice carries a hint of amusement as he continues to press his advantage, his movements becoming more fluid and precise with each passing moment. Stain, you villain scumbags are nothing compared to me, he said as he throws a dagger at Izuku, to which he swiftly redirected its direction. Izuku, who said I'm a villain? I'm a monster, and don't get me mixed up with those SHT holes. Stain, so a human calling himself a monster, Izuku, I'll rip your eyes out. Stain, empty threats from a desperate challenger, Stain retorted, his voice laced with mockery. You may be skilled, but you lack the conviction to follow through. Just so you know, you're not even on my level. Izuku, what the F did you just say? Izuku was now pissed as hell. Author, me personally I wouldn't have it. Stain unleashes a flurry of swings, destroying nearby ventilation systems and walls. Izuku jumps up to avoid his sword swings, but Stain uses this opportunity to stab him. In a sudden twist, Izuku extends his hand to take the force of the blow, and the hero killer's sword gets lodged in Izuku's hand. Izuku does this to get Stain in close quarters, and punches him in the face, knocking him out. Izuku, not bad, but let me correct you, you're not on my level, he said to a knockout Stain. Izuku POV, getting used to armed opponents should be easy. His gaze went upon Izumi as she along with the other two were free now. Izumi, Izuku just walked away. Shoto, Izuku, what happened to you? Izuku stopped in his track as he looked back at them. Izuku, why don't you ask her? He pointed at her. Izumi, Izuku, can you just stop this and come back home? We'll drop all the charges the hero's done against you and help with your problems. Izuku, Izumi, don't get cocky. You won't stay like this for long. Izuku, but I'll keep getting stronger. The sound of the sirens could be heard now, and with that, Izuku was gone. The sound of the sirens could be heard now, and with that, Izuku was gone. Lita, he defeated him. Shoto, he looks different than the last time I saw him. Izumi, what happened? Izumi, I'll explain it later. For now let's just call in 𝗬𝗲 and the other pro heroes. With that, they called them and explained everything that had happened. How Izuku took care of Stain and their fight. Izumi, Shoto, and Tenya are admitted to the hospital, where they are confronted by Grand Torino, Bang, Bomb, Manuel, and the police chief Kenji Tsuragami. Shoto and the police chief get into an argument about the students illegally using their quirks to combat stain. However, Chief 𝗬𝗓𝗍𝗵 decides to pardon the boys of their crimes because they kinda helped to stop stain. They couldn't give credit to 𝗬𝗲𝗏 because a few online trolls found CCTV footage from the alleyway and posted it on the internet. Following the defeat and arrest of the hero killer, 𝗬𝗏𝗏 and Kurojiiri were also caught on camera by the media. They are all assumed to be associated with one another, and the blame for the incident is pinned on the League of Villains. Stain becomes a media icon and details about his life are released on the internet. His motives, origin, and ideology all become widely known through a video becoming widely spread across the internet. The charisma displayed by Stain and his righteous ideology help inspire a new wave of villains that all move toward the League of Villains. Meanwhile, in All Might's house. All Might, so you saw him, Izumi, why yeah he was different. All Might, I'll do everything in my power to stop him and put a sense into him. Maybe even beg at this point. Inko, everything will be okay honey, she said as she covered her eyes while tearing. They were all watching the news. Breaking news. In a shocking turn of events, the hero killer Stain has been defeated by the hero hunter in Hosu City. The hero hunter engaged Stain in combat and emerged victorious, delivering a decisive blow that led to Stain's defeat. This development has sent shockwaves throughout the country and has raised questions about his backstory and identity. Meanwhile, Izuku, you're next, he said as he punched the wall which had a picture of a hero. Izuku, oh, you're still alive. Izumi just looked at him with complete fear in her eyes. Her brother was something different. The outlines looked like him, but his inner parts were different, with a featureless void filled with stars, galaxies and nebulas over his body as he was surrounded by a dark bluish aura. Izumi looked around the field. All the heroes were laying on the ground either dead or knocked out. She looked back at Izuku. Izumi, Izuku W, what happened to YU? Before she could finish, Izuku impales her through the stomach with his palm. Everything went black when Izumi suddenly woke up in bed screaming. Izumi, itch. Izumi shouted as she got up, her heart pounding in her chest as she struggled to catch her breath. The nightmare had felt so real, so vivid, that for a moment she wasn't sure if she was still trapped in it. Izumi, it's not real, she rubbed her eyes, trying to shake off the lingering sense of dread that clung to her like a heavy blanket. Izumi, it was just a nightmare, just a stupid nightmare. Morning at UA in Class 1A, 𝗧𝗵𝗲 and Kirishima were laughing at Bakugo because of the way his hair looked. Kirishima/𝗧𝗵𝗲. Holy what the heck Bakugo, they both said at the same time while laughing their butt off. Bakugo angrily, stop laughing. My hair's gotten used to this bullshit and I can't get it back the right way. He said, getting more pissed. Did you not hear me? I'll kill you both. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 laughing, I'd like to see you try, pretty boy. Bakugo fuming, what did you call me? He shouted as his hair turned back to normal comically. Kirishima, hey, there it goes again. He laughed. Mina, awesome. You got to face actual villain. I'm super jealous. She said excitedly. Jairu, well, I didn't fight. All I did was help people evacuate and provide logical support. Mina, but it still sounds like so much fun. Sue, I spent basically the whole time training and cleaning the ship deck. Though, there was this one day we caught a bunch of drag smugglers. Mina/Jairu, okay, that sounds way cooler. They said comically. Sue, what about you, Achiko-chan? How was your week? Uraraka, I'd say that it was very enlightening, she said with a dark purple aura around her as she did a few martial arts punches in the air. Sue, I think she found her fighting spirit. Jairu, yeah, that battle hero must have been something else. Kaminari, after 1 week she's like a totally different person. Mineta, different. Don't be stupid, Kaminari. He said as his attitude changed to a scared face. All women are demons at heart. They just hide their true personalities behind their pretty faces. Kaminari, what the heck did MT Lady do to you? He grabbed his shoulder. Everyone at my internship loved me. It was actually kinda great. Now if you want to talk about the ones who really changed, it was those 3-inch. he said as he pointed towards 𝗧𝗪𝗏, Todoroki, and Izumi. 𝗧𝗏, oh yeah, the hero killer and the hero hunter. Kirishima, glad you guys made it back alive. Seriously. They both said as they were on the ground while Bakugo had grabbed them by the back of the collar. Yaoyorozu, I worried about you too. Sato, you were lucky the hero hunter let you guys go. Hagakure, so cool. Shoto, yeah, he said while looking pissed. But because of yesterday's talk with Izumi. Flashback at the hospital with 𝗧𝗪𝗏, Todoroki, and Izumi after the talk with the police chief. Shoto, are you gonna tell me or what? Why is Izuku the hero hunter? Note: Shoto and Izuku were kinda childhood best friends since 𝗬𝗏𝗏 and All Might were friends, but because of training Shoto rarely saw Izuku after the age of 12. Also, 𝗬𝗏𝗏 did neglect his family but made up for it, so none of the Todoroki family is pissed at him other than Dabi. Shoto's mom is not at the psychiatric hospital. He still got his scar from his mother, but they all forgive her for doing so. Izumi, 𝗧𝗪𝗏, if it's something private then I should probably stay outside. Izumi, no 𝗧𝗪𝗏-kun, it's fine, it's only right that you should probably know. 𝗧𝗪𝗏 nodded. Shoto, okay, now tell us, we promise it will stay between us. Izumi nodded. She began telling them the whole story. How she and Bakugo bullied Izuku in order to protect him from becoming a hero since he didn't have a quirk. She told them how he trained under Silverfang so he could prove them wrong. Of course, the bullying got more, and his emotions became colder. Essentially it was time for the UA entrance exam and Izuku passed the exam. She told them how All Might her dad planned on using his influence to make him give up on his dreams. She explained how the next day Izuku had a fight with his whole family, how their dad revealed himself as All Might, which shocked Izuku. She finished her story by saying, Izuku and All Might fought, to which after that Izuku ran away from home. Few days he came to take his stuff, which he was caught by the police, and All Might but ran off. After that, Izuku was expelled from Bang's dojo for going on a rampage. Shoto, 𝗧𝗪𝗏, Izumi, they all just stood in the room, in silent until Shoto spoke. Shoto, how could you do this to him? You were his sister, your dad is the symbol of peace, yet you guys failed to help him when he needed you. 𝗧𝗪𝗏, I can't believe all of this happened. His voice was filled with a mix of shock and disbelief as he processed the weight of Izumi's story. Izumi, look, I know I screwed up bad time, but please help me put a sense to him and make him come back. Shoto stayed quiet for a few seconds before responding. Shoto, fine, only for Izuku, and after that I never knew you in my life in the first place, you hear that? He said in a pissed-off tone, to which Izumi nodded. Flashback ends. Todoroki, yeah, he was strong. Ojiro, did you guys hear the news about both the hero killer and the hero hunter? Everyone's been saying that they were both connected to the League of Villains. Can you imagine how frightening it would have been if those two had been there when they attacked the USJ? Kaminari, yeah, the hero killer's scary. But did you guys see the hero hunter fighting him in that CCTV footage? It's all over the internet. Not to mention that weird video from Stain. Ojiro, I didn't even know there was a video of them. Kaminari, yes, Stain's a pretty evil villain, but, like, super tenacious. He's almost kinda cool, don't you guys think? Mineta, the hero hunter is way cooler. He defeated Tank Top MSTR and the other tank toppers in the Hero Association at the same time. Izumi, Kaminari. Mineta. Kaminari, OH. Mineta, sorry Yagi. 𝗧𝗪𝗏, no, it's okay, you guys are fine. It is true that he's quite tenacious villain. I understand why people might think he was cool. But instead of helping the world, his beliefs led him to cold-blooded murder. No matter his motives, killing cannot be condoned. And as for the hero hunter, I haven't got much to say about him. He said as he looked at Izumi, which she looked disappointed. 𝗧𝗪𝗏, to keep anyone else from suffering like me, well, I promise I will strive to be a perfect hero, he said as his usual attitude came back. It's time for class to begin. Everyone please take your seats, he said as he began muttering some other bullshit. Tokoyami, he's back, he said with a sweat drop on his forehead. Jairu, this is your fault for talking about weird stuff. Kaminari, sorry, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Mineta, same thing goes for me. Meanwhile, Izuku woke up on pile of white trash bags as he fell asleep on them. Izuku, huh? He said as he looked around the place. What the hell am I doing here? He got up from the bags as he began rubbing his neck. What happened last night? It's all so fuzzy. I can't remember a thing. What really happened last night? Oh good, finally. I've looked all day. Izuku, huh? He said as he looked behind him to see a bald guy wearing an 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗄 hoodie while looking like an egg. Izuku POV, was he tailing me? Is he a hero too? Never seen that face before. Probably some nobody trying to climb the ranks by catching a big fish like me. But tables turn. He attempts to silence the bald guy with a swift chop to the shoulder, cracking the ground at the bottom of his feet. Izuku becomes shocked that his strike did nothing. What's the big idea? Trying to rob me? Who do you think you are? Don't bother me when I'm shopping. The bald man said as he returns with a chop of his own, bringing Izuku down and knocking him unconscious from the sheer force. As Izuku falls to the floor, the bald proceeds to buy the stuff he was looking for. Present 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗄𝗏, I'm counting on you to protect us today, Mr. 𝗵𝗃𝗏. 𝗵𝗃𝗏 POV, really? This is what they call a critical assignment. Executive. It seems the association executives are targets too now apparently, but my boy here simply insisted on going out and trying peasant food. 𝗬𝗲𝗄𝗏, look, Papa. A plate of pudding's coming by. 𝗬𝗃𝗍𝗄, how droll. Our tabs won't even be 10,000 yen. What an amusing experience this is, trying to make their inferior cuisine more fun to eat. 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏 POV, what is this? Am I in hell? After a long but hour, they finally eat their food and 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏 gets pissed since they keep putting the plates back on the belt. Can't be asked to go into details. 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏 gets a call from his sister and she nags about why he's not taking her to shopping. 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏 on the phone, fine, I'll take you another time, can you stop crying now? Alright, goodbye. Hangs up 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏, I'm the one who should be crying. Last time I do a favor for some executive douchebags. Rumbling. Suddenly, two monsters erupt from the ground. 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏, 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗲, is it the hero hunter? He said as he ran towards the main dining room. 𝗬𝗲𝗄𝗏, Papa. 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏, pretty sure that bug's not him. Junior Centipede, let's get out of here now. 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏, none of them are getting out yet, spits, they haven't paid their bills yet. Need some help. Meanwhile 𝗬𝗂𝗏, this one's watchdog man. Cute, isn't he? Izuku, teeth just looks like a guy in a dog suit to me. I heard he used to train 𝗵𝗃𝗏. 𝗬𝗂𝗏, yeah, he's the reason she became a hero. Izuku, a dog and a rabbit, huh? He questioned himself. 𝗬𝗂𝗏, he keeps watch over Kamino City, and his lookout is Watchdog Plaza. You can always find him hanging out there. Izuku, really? Siren, warning. Emergency evacuation. Warning. A monster has appeared in the shopping district of Nagano. Threat level, demon. The Class S hero 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏 and the number 7 hero 𝗵𝗃𝗏 are currently engaging the monsters. Citizens outside are requested to move indoors quickly. 𝗬𝗏𝗏, 𝗳𝗏𝗢𝗍, Izuku, you heard what she said, hurry up and get home, kid. 𝗬𝗏𝗏, okay, he said as he began running away from the park towards his house. Siren, we repeat, warning. Emergency evacuation. Izuku was smirking to himself as he now had a different plan. Izuku, two birds with one stone. Meanwhile 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗏𝗏 attacks 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏 with its tentacles, but the hero manages to deflect and destroy the tentacles with his bat. Senior Centipede follows up by striking 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏 with his Centipede March. The hero blocks the attack, although his clothes are severely damaged in the process. 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏 swings his bat to ward off the monster and jumps back several meters. 𝗵𝗃𝗏 jumped 𝗵𝗃𝗏, looks like you could use a hand, 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏. 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏 grins, thanks, 𝗵𝗃𝗏. But I can handle these creeps on my own. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, whatever you say, kid. She said as she dashed towards another direction to fight monsters. It was now 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏, Senior Centipede and 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗏𝗏 in the street. 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗏𝗏, he is obstinate. Senior Centipede, no wonder he could beat Junior Centipede. 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏, what are you disgusting bugs after? Looks at 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗏 and 𝗬𝗲𝗏𝗏. What could they possibly be worth to you? 𝗵𝗃𝗁 just chuckled at his question as he answered. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, how about this? Defeat us and we may tell you. 𝗵𝗃𝗏 begins to falter and GG. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, no one can escape my hypo scent for long. Taking advantage of the moment, Senior Centipede rushes 𝗵𝗃𝗏 and strikes him several times across the face with his legs. 𝗵𝗃𝗏 is unable to fight back, slowly losing consciousness, and is hit again by Senior Centipede with its body. The hero is sent flying back and is once again pummeled by several more attacks, but in a surprising twist, 𝗵𝗃𝗏 hits himself in the head. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, did he just hit himself? Blood begins to flow from his head and his nose. Senior Centipede, huh? He's out of his mind. He lashes with his front leg, but this time, 𝗵𝗃𝗏 retaliates, swinging his bat and dismembering the leg from the monster's body. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, there, that cleared my head. Senior Centipede POV, he's become even more powerful. 𝗵𝗃𝗁 POV, how was he able to clear the sedative so quickly? It's not possible. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, once my fighting spirit is up, I can take almost anything. He began walking towards them. You know, you really slapped the hell out of me just now. But I'm nice, so I'll let you two off the hook easy. 𝗵𝗃𝗏 grins, one swing each. He proceeds to kill both 𝗵𝗃𝗁 and Senior Centipede with single swings, and with Senior Centipede, the force of the swing is so strong, his entire body begins to crack and explodes in a mixture of green blood and blue body parts, making 𝗵𝗃𝗏 the victor. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, been a while since I had to try that hard. He stops walking as he realizes something. CRP. I forgot to find out what they were after. Way to space on that one. Doesn't look like the Nimrods were hurt. Suddenly, two heroes, Mandalay and Pixie Bob, come to assist 𝗵𝗃𝗏. Pixie Bob, we're here to help. Mandalay, we'll fight those monsters with you. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, sorry but you missed the party. Plus 𝗵𝗃𝗏 is around somewhere. Meanwhile, 𝗵𝗃𝗏 kicked the last monster in the head as its green blood splattered everywhere. Overall, she had killed 33 monsters in a few blocks while 𝗵𝗃𝗏 was fighting. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, phew, that was the last one. Wonder if there is any left. Just as she was about to turn around, she could see a guy with white spiky hair walking towards her with a smirk on his face. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, you need something. Izuku, you bet I do, he said with a devilish smirk. 𝗵𝗃𝗏 narrowed her eyes at the stranger approaching her, sensing danger emanating from his demeanor. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, who are you? And what do you want? Izuku's smirk widened as he stopped a few meters away from her, his posture relaxed but radiating confidence. Izuku, I'm surprised you don't recognize me, 𝗵𝗃𝗏. After all, I've been making quite a name for myself lately. 𝗵𝗃𝗏's eyes widened slightly in realization as she recognized the face of the infamous hero hunter. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, you're Izuku Yagi, the hero hunter. Izuku, bingo. You got it, bunny girl. 𝗵𝗃𝗏 tensed, preparing herself for a fight. She had heard about Izuku's exploits, his ruthless tactics, and his formidable power. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, All Might told me about you. My question is, why would the son of the number one hero be the hero hunter? Izuku, it doesn't concern you heroes. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, if you're looking for trouble, you've come to the right place. But let me warn you, I won't go down without a fight. Izuku's smirk turned into a grin as he cracked his knuckles, seemingly unfazed by 𝗵𝗃𝗏's challenge. Izuku, oh, I'm counting on it. Let's see what you've got, bunny girl. 𝗵𝗃𝗏 and Izuku traded blows with incredible speed and precision, their movements a blur as they danced around each other in a deadly game of combat. 𝗵𝗃𝗏's agility and ferocity were matched by Izuku's raw power and calculated strikes. Despite 𝗵𝗃𝗏's best efforts, Izuku seemed to have an answer for every move she made, dodging her attacks with ease and countering with devastating blows of his own. His fighting style was unconventional yet effective, catching 𝗵𝗃𝗏 off guard more than once. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, you're good, I'll give you that. But I won't let you harm anyone else. With a swift motion, 𝗵𝗃𝗏 launched herself into the air, aiming a powerful kick at Izuku's head. But he anticipated her move, grabbing her leg mid-air and swinging her around before slamming her into the ground with incredible force. Izuku, nice try, bunny girl. But you'll have to do better than that. 𝗵𝗃𝗏 grunted in pain as she struggled to push herself up from the ground, her body aching from the impact. "Mirko, I'm still pumped." The clash between Mirko and Izuku intensified, their movements becoming faster and more ferocious with each passing moment. They exchanged blows with such intensity that the ground beneath them trembled, cracks forming as a testament to the sheer power of their combat. Izuku's hand movement each followed a blue water stream. "Izuku, you'll be the 69th hero I hunted," he said with a cocky grin to which Mirko blushed in embarrassment but continued to fight anyway. "Mirko, 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗍." Mirko gritted her teeth, refusing to let Izuku's taunts get to her. She channeled her frustration into her next attack, launching herself forward with a barrage of punches aimed at Izuku's chest. Surged as she pushed herself to match Izuku's speed and power. With a fierce roar, she launched herself forward, her movements a blur as she unleashed a flurry of punches and kicks with incredible precision. Izuku POV. What the hell? Izuku, caught off guard by Mirko's sudden burst of energy, found himself on the defensive as he struggled to evade her relentless assault. Despite his best efforts, Mirko's blows began to land with increasing accuracy, each strike driving him further back. "Mirko, you may be fast, but you can't keep up with me, hero hunter." Izuku gritted his teeth, his cocky grin faltering as he struggled to keep pace with Mirko's relentless barrage. With each passing moment, her attacks grew more ferocious, driving him back with relentless force. "Mirko, it's over, Izuku. You can't defeat me." With a final, decisive blow, Mirko delivered a powerful kick that sent Izuku crashing to the ground, the impact sending shockwaves rippling through the air. With a swift spin, Mirko delivered a powerful roundhouse kick that sent Izuku staggering backward. Seizing the opportunity, she closed the distance between them in an instant, delivering a series of lightning-fast strikes that left Izuku reeling. He went back a few steps and raised his head up to reveal his cocky grin. "Izuku, is that all you've got, bunny girl? I was expecting more from the number 7 hero." With a swift motion, Mirko spun around, her leg extended in a powerful roundhouse kick aimed at Izuku's head. But he anticipated her move once again, ducking under her attack and countering with a swift uppercut to her jaw. Mirko's vision blurred as the impact sent her staggering backward, the force of Izuku's uppercut too much for her to withstand. She felt a sharp pain shoot through her jaw as darkness closed in around her, her body collapsing to the ground in a daze of pain and confusion. As she lay sprawled on the ground, defeated and gasping for breath, Izuku stood tall over her, his grin widening into a triumphant smirk. "Izuku, looks like the bunny's all tuckered out. You almost had me, I'll give you that, now time for the other one." Rumbling without warning, the ground begins shaking violently, and a final centipede monster many times larger than senior centipede bursts out of the ground. AKA Elder Centipede. And the UA locker room Zero. Guys, have you checked the news right now? Kirishima, huh? Lita, why? What happened? Zero, there's a dragon-level monster attacking Nagano City right now. Kaminari, is there any heroes there? Zero, there is 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵, Mirko, and meanwhile the crowd were screaming as they began to run towards the opposite direction. The exit of the city. 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵 was fighting Elder Centipede and Mirko was knocked out from her fight with Izuku. Woman screaming, "What happened to all the heroes?" Man screaming, "Mirko's out, she's just lying on the ground unconscious." Woman, "Let's get out of here." Izuku was walking forward, opposite of everyone else's direction. Izuku, whoa. Everyone's all excited. Threat level dragon gets announced, and boom, suddenly it's a party. I wonder if 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵 will still be alive by the time I find him. Before he could think, he saw a person hurled towards him from that centipede. It was none other than 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵. Izuku, huh? 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵 how'd he? Oh, that's how. He scoffs. So, some other monster got to beat up an S-class, huh? I wasted my time. However, much to Izuku's shock, 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵 promptly walks past him to resume his duel with Elder Centipede. 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵 sighs back to the grind. Izuku was caught off guard by the sudden encounter but regained his composure. Izuku, 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵, hold up, you're not dead yet. 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵, huh? Izuku, you being alive changes things, he laughs. My second S-class and second hero I hunt today. From here on, you face me. I'm hunting you," he said, pointing at him. 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺, get real, dipshit. Can't you see that giant centipede? Get your butt? Before he could finish his sentence, Izuku attacks, but 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 raises his guard and repels him, marking the beginning of the battle. 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺, now I see. You're that guy who's been running around, calling himself a hero hunter. Izuku, DMN right. This monster won't fall to you. He laughed. 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺, I'm guessing you already beat Mirko up. You can see I'm busy here. But sure, I'll spare a little time and crack you wide open. Meanwhile, Mandalay, 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗵𝗃, it's got us cornered. Mandalay, if we don't do something quick, we're dead, she said as she imaged Koda's face in her head. Before they could react, Endeavor shows up and throws a few massive fireball at the centipede, but despite this, Elder's centipede remains undamaged by Endeavor's attacks. Endeavor POV, not even a scratch, this one's gonna be a pain in the butt. Elder's centipede, annoying mosquito. Mandalay and 𝗵𝘃𝗄𝗵𝗃 began to run with the Hero Association executive on their arms. Mandalay, I hope Koda's safe. 𝗵𝘃𝗄𝗵𝗃, he's probably fine. They got to safety after 30 minutes of running. Meanwhile, Izuku strikes 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 with his left fist, blowing 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 back several meters. Izuku, guess you were worn down already. I wanted to see how tough you were, but I won't get a true taste since you're running on fumes. 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺, shut the F up. In anger, 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 jumps and attempts to slam Izuku with his bat, but Izuku dodges and punches the hero across the face. He follows up with an elbow strike that nearly sends 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 to the ground, but he manages to stop his fall by planting his bat into the ground. Izuku, all that BLD loss, you'll probably pass out at any second. Not to mention you've got multiple fractures. What's keeping you standing? Your hero pride. 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 swings his bat horizontally, but Izuku jumps up and strikes 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 with a right sidekick. However, 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 is unfazed and engages in a succession of swings. With a loud yell, 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 slams his bat downward. Izuku manages to evade the blow. Izuku POV, his swings are coming faster. More powerful too, the force of his strike manages to not only destroy the ground, but a building in front of the hero as well. Izuku POV, that shan't be possible. The hero hunter uses his water stream rock smashing fist technique and strikes 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 with a multitude of blows. 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 barges through his attacks and tries to attack Izuku again, but the hero hunter jumps back onto a fence. Izuku POV, with every hit he takes, every time he gets hurt, he becomes physically stronger. Izuku, how do you even make sense? 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺, screw making sense. I'm still pumped. It's about fighting spirit. Izuku POV, is he effer 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺? Just come at me already, hero hunter. I've still got a giant centipede to deal with after I'm through with you. Izuku POV, he's still, Izuku, let's see how long you can stay pumped up. I'll play with you for a bit. Izuku plants his feet down on the ground and throws a manhole cover at 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺, but 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 deflects it with his bat right back at Izuku. Izuku dodges the manhole cover and pummels 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 with a lethal barrage of blows. Izuku, I'm here. Thus. 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺, I got a personal rule to never let muggers or hero hunters off the hook. I'm gonna take that rotten spirit of yours and P&D it into shape. Izuku, swing and a miss, moron. Izuku deviously smiles and yet again pummels 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 with his water stream rock smashing fist. 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 swings his bat down, but Izuku catches the bat and slaps him across the face. What ensues next is a rapid succession of bat swings, all of which Izuku is able to expertly dodge. Izuku, is this your entire strategy? Just gonna keep swinging that thing till you're dead? 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺, I'm dead. Ain't nobody got time for that. I win. He got a stance. Killer move, fighting spirit brutal tornado. Determined not to let him get the best of him, 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗺 unleashes one of his killer moves. The hero begins to gain rapid speed and momentum. Izuku, huh? You're just spinning around in circles? Don't make me laugh. He laughed. Unfortunately for you, I can deflect every one of your amateurish blows. Izuku does exactly this, perfectly intercepting all of the bat swings, and with a circular motion of his hands, guts 𝗵𝘃𝗶 in the chest, making the hero cough up BLD and sending him flying back. This time, 𝗵𝘃𝗶 does not get back up, making Izuku conclude he was the victor. Izuku scoffs. He finally went down. Izuku POV. Tank top 𝗵𝘃𝗲 and 𝗵𝘃𝗶 are both just muscle brains. They lack hand-to-hand martial arts skills. 𝗵𝘃𝗀 on the other hand was quite the worthy opponent. Crushing the heroes might be a lot easier than I thought. He raised his hands slightly to only see them shaking violently. Izuku POV. You've got to be kidding me. Did his attacks pack more of a punch than I thought? Izuku cocky laugh. I might have been in trouble if he'd managed to land one on me. 𝗵𝘃𝗶 instantly gets up and prepares to swing his bat at Izuku while he was unprepared. Yet just before the bat makes contact with Izuku's head. Oni-chan. Renai-chan. A voice calls out to 𝗵𝘃𝗶. That voice is revealed to be coming from 𝗳𝗂𝗁, 𝗵𝘃𝗶's little sister. 𝗳𝗂𝗁, big brother bat, 𝗵𝘃𝗶. Teeth, 𝗳𝗂𝗁, what are you doing? Who is that? Izuku puzzled. His little sister. 𝗵𝘃𝗶, 𝗳𝗂𝗁 stay back. Before he could finish his sentence, Izuku hits 𝗵𝘃𝗶 across the face with his left fist, sending him back to the ground. 𝗳𝗂𝗁, Oni-chan. Izuku, you missed the perfect opportunity. This time I'll finish you off for good, he said as he cracked his knuckles. However, before he could land a hit, 𝗳𝗂𝗁 interferes and defends her big brother. #𝗳𝗂𝗁, you can't, Oni-chan promised me that he'd never fight in front of me, she said with a serious face. So no more fighting. Izuku, huh? 𝗳𝗂𝗁, the fight's over. Izuku stood up from his stance as he began to speak. Izuku, and why the hell should I have to follow your family rules? 𝗳𝗂𝗁, and no more. Izuku stayed silent for a few seconds as tension filled the atmosphere until he raised his hand to which he scratched the back of his head. Izuku, oh yeah, I just remembered I had something to do. I don't have time to waste on you idiots. 𝗵𝘃𝗶 got up. You're the one who attacked me. Izuku, guess you get to live a little longer, 𝗵𝘃𝗶. 𝗵𝘃𝗶, what? 𝗳𝗂𝗁, Oni-chan. Let's hurry up and go home. There's a giant monster too, 𝗵𝘃𝗶. Oh right. The executives are in danger. I have to hurry. He began to walk as 𝗳𝗂𝗁 hung on his leg trying to pull him back. 𝗳𝗂𝗁, wait, you're joking, right? Come on. Don't do this. You're gonna die. 𝗵𝘃𝗶, you go on home. 𝗳𝗂𝗁, you big idiot. 𝗳𝗂𝗁 tries pulling him back due to his severe wounds and then lightly slaps him on the head. This minor, powerless slap is strong enough to cause the hero to collapse from his wounds and his petered fighting spirit. 𝗳𝗂𝗁, huh? Oni-chan. Meanwhile, Izuku was walking through the road while two monsters were watching him from a roof of a building. Phoenix Man, so that's the hero hunter everyone's talking about. Not bad for a human. Sludge villain, he's a coward for not finishing him off. Phoenix Man, no, that guy may actually prove himself useful. Sludge. He looked at his side only to see him gone. He looked down to see where he was and he came out from the sewers spying on 𝗵𝘃𝗶 and his sister. Sludge villain, hey, that's 𝗵𝘃𝗶's little sister. The more hostages, the better. Izuku, hey. The sludge villain was smashed like a bug by Izuku. Izuku, so you're the creepy gaze I was sensing. The villain quickly fixed himself and Phoenix Man flied down and landed behind Izuku. Izuku, it's still alive. Phoenix Man, wait, hero hunter. Izuku, 2 against 1, huh? He said with a smirk. Phoenix Man, we are not your enemies. Take a look at this. He stuck his hand out of his costume to show Izuku a card. I'm sure it will interest you. Izuku, Monster Association. Phoenix Man POV, he took the bait. Phoenix Man, follow me. I'll take you to our lair. To his surprise, Izuku ripped the paper and threw it on the ground. Izuku, I'm not interested. Get lost. Phoenix Man chuckled as he began to fly. Phoenix Man, I'll pretend I didn't see that. But we'll be meeting again. He was in the sky now. As long as you keep hunting heroes, that is. Sludge villain, just you wait. he said as he entered the sewer and left. Izuku was silent for a few seconds until he spoke. Izuku, disgusting, he said as he began to walk away. What he didn't know was that someone with green hair was watching from a far distance. 𝗬𝗪𝗲 sighs in disappointment. What happened to you, Izuku? Meanwhile 𝗬𝗬𝗍, oh, even more suitors to become my slaves. How 𝗬𝗪𝗍𝗁. She prepares to WHP the heroes, but before the WHP can make contact, it is suddenly stopped midair. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, really? That's all it takes to be AA threat level demon. Not a bad wager. If I defeat you, their minds will be freed, yes. Then they'll be in my debt, like killing two birds with one stone. 𝗬𝗪𝗍, I wish you wouldn't toy with my sadistic instinct. I don't want to kill you too quickly. After a few hours of fight, 𝗵𝗃𝗲 is at a disadvantage and is losing slowly until 𝗬𝗪𝗲 shows up, and you know the rest. She beats up 𝗬𝗬𝗍, yada yada yada, 𝗬𝗬𝗍 runs off and stuff. Can't be asked to get into detail. 𝗬𝗪𝗲, you okay? 𝗵𝗃𝗲, why yeah, thanks for the backup. 𝗬𝗪𝗲, listen, I saw Izuku. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, what? Is he alright? 𝗬𝗪𝗲, he is the hero hunter everyone's been talking about. I saw him fighting 𝗵𝗃𝗿 and 𝗵𝗃𝗲. He was ruthless. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, and you didn't do anything. 𝗬𝗪𝗲, he's our nephew. What do you want me to do? Just kill him. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, why you sighs, what do we do now? 𝗬𝗪𝗲, we'll ask that 𝗬𝗪𝗏 and 𝗵𝗃𝗀 what happened first, then we'll figure out the rest. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, alright, let's go. Meanwhile 𝗳𝗪𝗏, I see, so he was your best disciple. I'm truly sorry what happened. Bang. Bang, it wasn't his fault that he became this way. Bomb. Bang, are you okay? Bang, I'm fine, he said as he wiped his small tear. 𝗳𝗪𝗏, we'll get him back. You know, ever since those two were born, they practically saw me as their grandpa. It was a really touching moment. Then I didn't see them after the age of 8 since they moved to Mustafa. It broke my heart to see my little grandkids to leave. Bang, I see, I was more like a father figure for him than his own father. Heck, I was a better father than his own dad. When I saw him going on a rampage, it broke my heart. Bomb. Alright, save your chats for later, old guys, let's continue our search. 𝗳𝗪𝗏, you're older than us, you know, he said with a smirk. Bang, let's go. After a long day of the monster raid throughout Japan, it all calmed down as the monsters retreated to their lair. The news was filled with how the monsters took out a lot of heroes during the raid. Right now, the teachers of UA were talking in the meeting room. Nizu, with the connection between the hero killer stain, the Monster Association and the League of Villains, it's possible criminals and monsters everywhere will become much bolder. Snipe, it'd be best if we could start preparing for that before it happens. As a school, we should be taking every precaution. If fights against villains and monsters are gonna continue, then having kids train against robots ain't practical. Aizawa, don't forget about the hero hunter too, he's also a problem too. Any info about him? Midnight. Not much, he hunted 70 heroes in the past 2 months, 2 of them are S-class heroes, and 15 of them were pro heroes. They either quit their job as a hero or are out of commission for a few months at least. All Might, 𝗬𝗵𝗃𝗏, there is a possible chance that he might come for the students here. Are we planning anything to deal with him? We could try to find out his real identity for starters. Present Mike, we could go to the forest camp to train the students for real combat. That way, they're ready for anything at that point. We could also bring more staff in case the same thing happened at USJ happens there. Nizu, I was planning on doing that too. Very well, after the students done their exams, both 1A and 1B can go to the forest camp. Also, I have contacted the wild PP cats to help us train the students. You are all dismissed. With that, everyone else left the room and Aizawa went towards his office to check something. Aizawa POV. Now where is that file? He said as he was looking through a bunch of folders. Aha, found it. Now let's see. Alright, this is the list that contains the names that have participated during the entrance exam. Where is the green-haired kid? He was accepted to UA with that crazy score he got. What happened to him? What was his name? He was now looking at the document which had Izuku's registration in there. Forename, Izuku. Surname, Yagi. Age, 16 seconds. Male. Height, 182 centimeters weight, 80 kilograms quirk, nun father, Toshinori Yagi mother, Izuku Yagi Izawa POV. He's All Might's kid and Izumi Yagi's brother. Guessing they're twins. How is he not in UA? Something doesn't add up. Tatsumaki, you did what? She yelled. Toshinori, it was a wrong thing to do I know, but there was nothing else I could do, 𝗵𝗃𝗲, so you decided to crush his dreams. How could you? She yelled in anger. Tatsumaki, because of you, he's now a wanted criminal. Toshinori, Izumi, Auntie, can you help us get him back? She said with a tear towards Tatsumaki. Tatsumaki, Izumi, you knew this was a bad idea. Why didn't you stop your dad? She said with a sorrow tone. Izumi, to keep Izuku safe, I never wanted any of this to happen. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, well, now it did happen. Suddenly there was a knock on the door and Inko went to open it. Inko, did you guys find him? She said with a praying tone. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, sadly no, there wasn't a single trace of him, he said in annoyance. Gran Torino, we looked everywhere in the city, he said in disappointment. Inko, right, come in, she said as she opened the door for them to enter. Gran Torino and 𝗵𝗃𝗲 looked disappointed while Bang was on another level. Anger, sad, disappointment, tired, all of them combined. Once he saw All Might, he lost it. Bang, this is all your fault. You make me sick, he yelled in anger. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, Bang, calm down, he said as he grabbed his shoulder. Bang, I should beat you up right now, he said as he tried to strike him, but 𝗵𝗃𝗲 and Gran Torino held him back. Gran Torino, Bang, calm down. Bang stopped as he sat on a chair nearby, still looking at All Might with cold eyes. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, Silverfang, I know you're hurt, but please calm down for today. We've all been through so much. Tatsumaki, 𝗵𝗃𝗲's right, old man, we should look for him tomorrow. Bang, Inko, thanks for your help again. Gran Torino. GT, no problem. Izumi, it's all my fault. Inko, sweetheart, it's not your fault, don't blame yourself for what happened. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, your mom's right. Izumi, if anything it's your dad's fault. Toshinori, Gran Torino, look, I understand everyone's upset, but blaming each other won't solve anything. We need to focus on finding Izuku and bringing him back before things get worse. Tatsumaki, there is already a few heroes who know about the hero hunter being your son Yagi. Toshinori, I'll fix this myself. Meanwhile, Izuku, I ain't interested. F off. He said as he began to walk out from the alleyway. Shigaraki, come on, hero hunter, thought we were on the same page here. Izuku, Kurogyri, Mr. Hero Hunter, even if you're not interested, could you at least come with us? Our boss would like to meet you in person. Izuku, get lost, he said as he slammed them to the wall. Shigaraki, hey now. You're being a little rough, aren't you? Izuku, what do I get out of this? Kurogyri, what you get out of this is a chance to reshape the world according to your ideals. Our boss believes in a society where individuals like you are valued for your strength and conviction. Izuku's gaze hardened, his mind racing with conflicting thoughts. On one hand, the idea of joining forces with villains repulsed him. But on the other hand, the promise of power and influence was tempting. Izuku, bring me to your boss. Shigaraki, now we're talking, he said with a creepy sound. Kurogyri teleported them to the bar, and in there was Dabi, Toga, Spinner, Muscular, Toga, Twice, Mr. Compress, Mustard, Magna, and finally Speed. Oh, sounds Sonic. Dabi, took you guys long enough. Toga, who is this cutie? She said as she ran towards her but was stopped by Dabi. Izuku, I'd rather end myself rather than hit that. Toga, Mine, she said with a pout face. Kurogyri, 𝗵𝗃𝗲 is waiting for you in that room, Mr. Hero Hunter. Spinner, the Hero Hunter. Dabi, Twice, whoa, he's so cool / he's a stain ripoff basically. Shigaraki began to lead Izuku to a door and they entered. Inside was a dark room with a small light reflection. A man in a suit could be seen sitting on a chair in the center with a few wires connected to his nose. Izuku, who are you supposed to be? The man in the suit looked up, his eyes gleaming with intelligence and ambition. I am known by many names, but you may call me All for One. All for One, I must say, Hero Hunter, I am impressed by your exploits. Your skill and determination are truly remarkable. Or should I call you Izuku Yagi? Izuku, how did you know? He asked with his face remaining serious. 𝗧𝗲𝗿, let's just say I have my ways. Izuku, it's not like I want that name anyway. What do you want from me, old geezer? 𝗧𝗲𝗿, simple, we are going to attack UA while they are on a school trip and kidnap one of their students. You are going to help us, Izuku, and what will I get? 𝗧𝗲𝗿, you get to kill All Might. Izuku stayed silent for a few minutes until he spoke. Izuku, I'm done after this whole plan, you hear me? 𝗧𝗲𝗿, sounds reasonable enough. We have a deal, Hero Hunter. You may leave now. Izuku left the bar and made his way to his hideout for the rest of the night. 1 week goes by, and throughout the week, the UA students did their final exam, which they had to fight their teacher as a duo and pass the test. It goes exactly like the one in canon, except it's Bakugo and Izumi, but they cooperated unlike the canon one. Right now, we cut back to Aizawa in his office with All Might sitting there. All Might, so, you wanted to talk about something? He asked nervously. Aizawa, yeah, about a few days ago I was digging through the entrance exam contestants list and found someone interesting. He said as he dropped a file on the desk, which All Might opened it to see Izuku's details in there. You mind explaining why your son isn't here? He said as he looked at him with a serious expression. All Might, why are you asking me this? He asked, trying to go off topic. Aizawa, that's a great question considering the fact that I recorded his projectile and telling him that he was accepted. All Might, Aizawa, and by that look I'm guessing something bad happened with you and him. All Might, he's the hero hunter, he said in disappointment. Aizawa just stayed in silent for a few seconds, trying to comprehend what just happened. Aizawa, so you're telling me he's the kid that beat up 2 S-class heroes including 𝗵𝘃𝗲 and the hero killer Stain? All Might nodded. Aizawa, you mind telling me what happened from the start? And after a long hour of talk, All Might finished his story. Author, he's him. Aizawa, he's him for sure. All Might, wait, what? Aizawa, don't worry, so you're telling me he became a wanted criminal in every hero agency and the Hero Association because you failed as a father and a hero, he said as he began to clap sarcastically. Guess the Father of the Year award is for you. All Might, Aizawa, can you keep it low and not tell anyone? I have to fix this alone. Oh, you will fix it by yourself, all right, said a white dog-looking creature. All Might, and 𝗍𝗍𝗍, what you did there, Mr. Yagi, is hypocrite. You saw him yourself how strong he is, and yet you didn't let him be a hero just because you thought he would be in danger, he said in a cold tone. If it wasn't for young Izumi Yagi, I would have fired you straight away, but since it's your mess, you'll fix it yourself, no farther discussion. All Might, right, principal? The day of the trip, Aizawa, now that you've finished up your first semester at U. Ahai, it's time for summer vacation to officially begin. However, don't think these will be months of rest for you heroes in the making. At this camp, we'll push you to go beyond your limits. You're aiming to become plus ultra. Students, yes sir. 𝗎𝗓𝗏, I'm so excited for this camping trip. I've been looking to it. Izumi-chan, Izumi, oh yeah. It's definitely close, huh? She said in an excited tone. 𝗎𝗓𝗏, yay, let's go to camp. Mina/Kaminari/𝗎𝗓𝗏, camp. Monoma, I heard some of Class 1 is taking extra courses. Does that mean they failed the final exams? Gasps sarcastically, that must be so embarrassing. Especially since you're supposed to be so much better than our class. All of you must be wallowing in shame. But he was suddenly knocked out by a neck chop on the head. Kendo, sorry about that, guys, she said as she carried his unconscious towards the bus. Soon all the students left for the forest training camps. Izumi, where am I? What happened here? She said in a panicked tone. Izumi was in a destroyed city, the same one she saw in her dream. She looked around to see her family dead on the ground. Izumi, she yelled as she ran towards her family's corpse. How could this happen? You're a bit late, Izumi, she said as she wiped her tears. She turned back to see the same Izuku she saw in her dreams. His inner body filled with stars and galaxies. Izumi, And no Izuku, why are you like this? She said in fear. Izuku, I feel like I can do anything. Guess I'm a god-level threat now. He laughed. Any last word? He said as he picked her up by the throat. Izumi, please, he stabbed her in the heart as she watched in despair. Izumi, she screamed as she woke up, causing everyone on the bus to look at her. Mina, whoa, are you okay? 𝗵𝗃 𝗔𝗂𝘁𝗵, he said as he covered his ears. Kirishima, you good? He turned back. Izumi, sorry everyone, I just had a weird dream. 𝗎𝙪𝙢𝗢, it must have been one heck of a dream to get you that freaked out. You sure you're okay? Izumi, yeah, I'm fine. Just a little shaken up. She forced a smile, trying to shake off the lingering fear from her nightmare. Ida, dreams can sometimes be a reflection of our subconscious fears. It's important to stay calm and remember that it's not real. Sue, we're almost there. After a few minutes they all got off the bus. 𝗵𝗃, finally. I needed off that bus. Mineta, let me get through, I got a piece. He said as he ran through the students. Kirishima, this isn't much of a rest area. Jairu, no. And where's Class B? Aizawa, you don't really think we stopped here just so you could stretch your legs, do you? Class 1A, Mineta, please sir, the toilet. Suddenly the doors of the black limo next to them was opened. Mandalay, hey, Eraser. Aizawa, size long time no see. Mandalay, your feline fantasies are here. Say, meow. 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵𝗃, perfectly cute and cat-like girls. Mandalay/𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵𝗃, you can call us the wild pussycats, they said in an excited tone, and next to them was a small kid looking at them with a pissed-off glare. Aizawa, these are the pro heroes you'll be working with at the summer training camp. Izumi excitedly, they're a 4-person hero team who specialize in mountain rescues. She turned towards the students. The Pussycats were founded when we were kids, like forever ago. 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵𝗃 and Mandalay gasped. This marks their 12th year working as a. Izumi was cut off as 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵𝗃 covered her mouth. 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵𝗃, I'm pretty sure your math must be off. I'm 18 at heart. Izumi muffling, understood. Kirishima/𝗵𝗃𝗧 POV, that's so sad. Aizawa, everyone greet them. Everyone, hi. Few minutes later Mandalay, this whole area here is our property. The summer camp you're staying at is there at the base of the mountain. Students, that's far. 𝗎𝙪𝙢𝗢, then why did we stop all the way up here instead? Sue, I'm afraid we both know the answer to that. Sato, that can't be right. Zero, back on the bus, quick let's go, he laughed nervously. 𝗵𝗃𝗧, good idea. Load up, he said nervously. Mandalay, the current time is 9:30 in the morning. If you're fast about it, you might make it there by noon. She said with a smirk. Kirishima, no way. Guys. Mina, holy Kirishima, save yourselves, he yelled as all the students began to run towards the bus. Mandalay, kiddies who don't make it there by 12:30 won't get any lunch. Aizawa, you should have guessed students. The training camp has already began, he said while the students were running for the bus. Before they could get closer, 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵𝗃 jumped in front of them and uses her quirk to create a landslide of dirt that causes Class 1A to fall into a forest called the Beast's Forest, which they must traverse to reach their destination. Mandalay, good news. Since this is a private land, you can use your quirks as much as you want to. You've got 3 full hours. You should be able to make it to the facility in that time. That is if you can get through the Beast's Forest. She said. Izumi, the Beast's Forest. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗵𝗃, that sounds like a game right out of a fantasy game. Jairu, why do we keep falling for Aizawa's little tricks? Kirishima, I guess there's no use complaining, he said as he got up and cleaned the dust off him. Might as well get going. Mineta ran towards the trees to relieve himself. Mineta, I held it. Didn't spring a single leak. Now to find a secluded spot. Suddenly, a giant dirt clod appeared from the trees. Its growling intensified as it stared at Mineta, which he shits his pants. 𝗧𝗪/𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗵𝗃, we're all gonna die, they screamed. 𝗧𝗄𝗧 began to run towards the beast as he tried to use his quirk. 𝗂𝗧, please calm yourself, my giant friend. You don't want to hurt them. The golem raised its palm to smash 𝗵𝗃𝗲, but before it could land a hit, Izumi used her telekinesis quirk and OFA to jump in and save him. Izumi POV. 𝗂𝗧's power lets him control animals, but is this one immune? The beast growled loudly. A 𝗎𝗪𝗏. I get it. It's 𝗵𝘃𝗵𝗲's quirk. Meanwhile, 𝗵𝗃𝗏, don't you think you've got them on a pretty crazy schedule, Eraser? Izuku, yeah. We're hoping we get an entire second semester's worth of knowledge in them here. That's going to take an intense amount of work. But the rewards will be worth it. They'll get permits to use their quirks if there's ever an emergency. And provisional licenses that will allow them to work as heroes. Most importantly, with all the villainous activity we've been tracking, not to mention the hero hunter, they need to be able to defend themselves. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, I guess you're right. Speaking of which, do you anything about this hero hunter guy? He's been hunting high-ranking heroes. Not to mention a lot of villains too. Izuku, villains too, huh? Guess all we have to do is wait for his next move. He said in a disappointed tone, which 𝗵𝗃𝗏 noticed. 𝗵𝗃𝗏 furrowed her brow, concern evident in her expression. You seem troubled, Eraser. Is there something more to this hero hunter situation that you're not telling me? Izuku sighed heavily, his gaze fixed on the distant horizon. It's complicated. There's more to it than meets the eye. 𝗵𝗃𝗏 crossed her arms, waiting for him to continue. Well, I'm all ears. Izuku hesitated for a moment before speaking again. The hero hunter, he's not just some rogue vigilante. He's someone with a personal connection to one of our students. 𝗵𝗃𝗏's eyes widened in surprise. You mean he's a relative? Izuku nodded. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, but who? Izuku, isn't obvious. The hero hunter is targeting Izuku Yagi, and it's for a reason. Ever notice why the symbol of peace hasn't been active lately? 𝗵𝗃𝗏, now that you mention it, wait, you're telling me the hero hunter is All Might's son, she said in disbelief. Izuku nodded solemnly. It's a delicate situation, to say the least. All Might has been trying to keep his son's identity hidden, but with Izuku Yagi's relentless pursuit, it's only a matter of time before the truth comes out. 𝗵𝗃𝗏's gaze turned distant as she considered the ramifications. If Izuku is targeting his own sister, what does that say about him? Izuku's expression darkened. It's clear that there's more to Izuku's motivations than simple villainy. Something drove him to this path, and until we understand what, we won't be able to stop him. 𝗵𝗃𝗏 frustrated sigh. And what about Izumi? Is she aware of the danger she's in? Izuku's eyes narrowed. Not entirely. She knows about her brother's activities, but I don't think she fully grasps the extent of the danger. 𝗵𝗃𝗏's expression softened with empathy. Poor girl. To be caught in the middle of all this, Izuku nodded in agreement. We need to keep a close eye on her. The hero hunter won't hesitate to use her as leverage against All Might. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, all right, let's head towards the facility for now. 𝗂𝗧, we're leaving. 𝗂𝗧 POV, 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗏 each pointless. Are those guys stupid? And they want to be heroes. It was now 5:20 p.m. 𝗵𝘃𝗵𝗏. They finally arrived. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, that took a lot longer than expected. Class 1A is severely worn out and they reached the lodge well after their initial allotted time limit, each one of them panting one by one. 𝗧𝗏, you said it would be only like 3 hours. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, I guess we timed it based on how long it'd take us. Sorry. She joked. 𝗧𝗏, now you're bragging about how much better you are. That's so mean. Kirishima, I'm starving. This is hell. 𝗵𝘃𝗵𝗏, I thought it would take you kids even longer. But you did much better against my dirt monsters than I thought you would. You guys were seriously great. Especially the 4 of you. She said, pointing at Izumi, Bakugo, Todoroki and Lita. It seems like you've had quite a bit of experience. She licked her lips. I call dibs on these kittens. I'll groom them myself. Izuku, 𝗵𝗃𝗏, has she always been like this? He said, pointed at 𝗵𝘃𝗵𝗏. 𝗵𝗃𝗏, it's gotten worse lately. She's at the age to take a mate. Izumi, speaking of people's ages, She was cut off yet again by 𝗵𝘃𝗍𝗵 as she covered her face with her palm. 𝗵𝘃𝗍𝗵, choose your words carefully, little girl. Izumi, I've just been wondering since we got here earlier. Who is that kid? What's he doing here? He mumbled as she pointed at 𝗳𝗂𝗧. 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏, oh, this little guy. He's my nephew. He lives with us now. Don't be shy, 𝗳𝗂𝗧. Say hi to everyone. You're gonna be around them for the next week. Izumi began walking towards 𝗳𝗂𝗧 to introduce herself. Izumi, hey there. My name's Yagi. I'm from the high school hero course. It's nice to meet you, she said as she extended her hand towards him. But instead, she was met by a punch in the nuts. I know females don't have tactical, but it still hurts when they get hit there. 𝗳𝗂𝗧 began to walk away as 𝗧𝗧 ran towards Izumi to catch her before she falls. 𝗧𝗧, what a low blow. You fiend of a child. A punch to the 𝗎𝗪𝗢 is unforgivable. He yelled comically. 𝗳𝗂𝗧, the last thing I want is to hang with some wannabe heroes. You guys are not real heroes, just a bunch of fakes. 𝗧𝗧, wannabe, how old are you, kid? Bakugo, that brat's got spunk, he smirked. Todoroki, he's like a mini version of you. Bakugo, what are you talking about? You need to shut your mouth before I blast you all the way to hell. He yelled angrily. Todoroki, yeah, sure. Aizawa, enough playing. Get your stuff off the bus. Once your bags are in your rooms, we'll have dinner at the cafeteria. After that, you can bathe and sleep. Tomorrow your training starts in earnest. You'd better hurry up. Time skipped towards the hot spring 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏. The food and stuff is fine, but to be honest, I'm hungry for something else. Just one little wall. A few pieces of wood. And heavens waiting on the other side. A bath full of bub and babes ready to be seen by yours truly. Kirishima, dude, are you over there talking by yourself again, 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏? Mina, this feels amazing, she said on the other side. Jairu, I'm so glad they've got a hot spring here. 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏, bathe, my angels. How stupid of them not to stagger the times that we'd be naked to each other. I hope they never learn from their mistakes. Kaminari, it's too much for him. 𝗧𝗧, you to stop this at once, 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏. What you're doing is demeaning. For both the girls and yourself. It's shameful behavior. He yelled in anger as he began to walk through the water towards him. 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏, now I know why I have this quirk. It's because walls are meant to be climbed. I'm coming for you, ladies, plus ultra. He yelled as he used his purple ball to climb of the wooden wall. All that quirk training. All the times I almost died. It was to prepare for this shining 𝗵𝘃𝗏. Before he could reach the edge, 𝗳𝗂𝗧 appeared on top of the walls, making him freeze from moving any further. 𝗳𝗂𝗧, seems like before learning to be a hero, you should learn how to be a person. He said as he slapped 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏 in the face, making him fall on 𝗧𝗧's face while his towel flied away. 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏, DM brat. Both him and 𝗧𝗧 fell in the hot spring too. 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏 is the worst, as expected. Mina, thanks a lot, 𝗳𝗂𝗧 babe, she yelled excitedly. 𝗳𝗂𝗧 looked back to see all the wanna girls in the water laughing and thanking him. They were naked and this caused him to blush and fall from the wall to the girl's side. Izumi, look out, she said as she used her telekinesis to make him float and land safely. When he landed, he already fainted from the fall, so Izumi brought her to 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏. 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏, the rush from the fall likely caused him to faint. Thank you for saving him. Eraser warned me one of the boys was a perv, so I left 𝗳𝗂𝗧 up there to keep a watch. I suppose that's the danger of teaching kids your age. Izumi, well, anyway, I'm just glad he's all right. Flashback 𝗳𝗂𝗧, the last thing I want is to hang with some wannabe heroes. Flashback and Izumi, he doesn't like heroes very much, does he? I admit that's weird to me. Most people know wants to be one. So, it's just wild to think that a kid his age is against heroes. Hates them even. 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏, how observant. Of course, he isn't alone. There are many in our society who don't approve of us. If he did have a normal childhood, maybe he would have admired heroes like you kids did growing up. Izumi, sorry to ask, but what happened? Suddenly the door opened, and 𝗵𝘃𝗍𝗵 came in. 𝗵𝘃𝗍𝗵, 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏's cousin. 𝗳𝗂𝗧's parents, they were heroes. but they were killed in action. 𝗵𝘃𝗍, it was a villain. 2 years ago. 𝗂𝘁 was still so small. They were killed while protecting citizens. Perhaps the most respectable way for any hero to die. But how do you even begin to explain to a child that his parents died honorable deaths? They were his entire world. Everything. But to him, his parents had left him behind. And all the while they were being praised. Because their sacrifice was such a noble one. Honestly, he doesn't seem to like us that much either. We're heroes like they were. I'm sure he feels like he's stuck here because he has nowhere else to go. Heroes just don't make sense to 𝗂𝘁. After all, if his parents hadn't been heroes, they would still be here. She finished in a sad tone as they all stayed silent. Izumi, I also have someone close to me that hates heroes, my brother. 𝗵𝘃𝗍 looked at her with curiosity. Your brother? Izumi nodded. Izuku. He used to look up to heroes just like I did. But something changed him. Now he's 𝗵𝘃𝗍𝗵, the hero hunter, right? She interjected gently, her expression one of understanding. Izumi's eyes widened in surprise. You know about him? 𝗵𝘃𝗍 nodded. Eraser told us a bit. It must be hard having a brother who's gone down such a dark path. Izumi, it is. I just wish I knew why he's doing this. Maybe then I could help him. 𝗵𝘃𝗍𝗵, you've got a good heart, Izumi. But remember, it's not your fault. Everyone makes their own choices. Izumi, I know. It's just I still hope that there's a way to reach him. 𝗵𝘃𝗍 put a reassuring hand on her shoulder. You're strong, Izumi. Stronger than you think. Just keep moving forward for your sake and his. Izumi smiled weakly. Thank you, 𝗵𝘃𝗍. I'll do my best. 𝗵𝘃𝗍𝗵, all right, enough heavy stuff for tonight. Get some rest. Tomorrow's a big day. Izumi nodded and headed back to her room. As she lay in bed, her mind kept drifting back to her brother and the dream she had. Izumi POV, what was that dream? Why was he different? I can't look for the right words for that. It was like he was a monster. Meanwhile, Izuku, so you're telling me you lost to some bald guy 3 times in a row? He laughed in a mocking way. Sonic, TC, that guy is the strongest hero on this planet. Izuku smirked, leaning back in his chair. Strongest hero. Bold claim, Sonic. But if he's so strong, why isn't he more well known? Sonic. He doesn't care about fame or recognition. He just fights and wins. Izuku, interesting. Maybe I should pay this hero a visit later. See what he's really made of. Sonic. I'd advise against it, hero hunter. He's not someone to be underestimated. Izuku's eyes glinted with a mix of curiosity and amusement. I never underestimate anyone. But I do want to test my limits. And if he's as strong as you say, then it could be enlightening. Sonic sighed. Your funeral. Just don't say I didn't warn you. Izuku, warnings are for the weak. Now, tell me more about this guy. What's his name? Sonic. His name is 𝗳𝗵𝗲. Izuku, 𝗳𝗵𝗲. Meanwhile, AFO along with Kurogyari and a few league members was currently in the Monster Association base talking with a particular pink monster. 𝗎𝗫𝗎. So the rumors are true. We're happy to see you, Mr. AFO, truly delightful. So, I'm guessing you are here to discuss some business matter, huh? AFO. Indeed, 𝗎𝗫𝗎. I'm here to propose an alliance. Our objectives align in many ways, and together, we could achieve far more than we could alone. 𝗎𝗎𝗎's eyes narrowed with interest. The idea of an alliance with one of the most feared villains in the world was both tempting and dangerous. 𝗎𝗎𝗎, an alliance, you say? Interesting. And what exactly do you propose we accomplish together? FO, the Hero Society has grown complacent, believing they are invincible. But with your monsters and my resources, we can destabilize their entire system. Imagine a world where heroes are no longer the DMNT force, where chaos and fear reign supreme. 𝗎𝗎𝗎 considered the proposition, her numerous eyes blinking thoughtfully. 𝗎𝗎𝗎, you make a compelling case. But what do you expect from us in return? FO, simple. I need access to your most powerful monsters. Together, we can launch coordinated attacks on key targets, breaking the spirit of the heroes and the public alike. In return, you will have my full support and the backing of the League of Villains. 𝗬𝗪𝗢𝗬 stepped forward, his voice smooth and persuasive. 𝗬𝗪𝗢𝗬, we believe this partnership could be mutually beneficial. Your strength combined with our strategic planning and resources will ensure our success. 𝗬𝗪𝗢𝗬, very well. You have a deal, all for one. Under one condition. 𝗲𝗲, and that is, after your little operation, you will bring the hero hunter to me. 𝗲𝗲 turned back to see a group of men in suit, with bird mask on their faces. He instantly realized who the man was. 𝗲𝗲, Mr. Chisaki, long time no see. I see the Yakuza is still a thing after all these years. Overhaul, if it isn't the 𝗲𝗲, nice to meet you too. 𝗲𝗲, to what do we owe this unexpected visit? Overhaul, I've been monitoring the activities of both the heroes and the villains. Your plans align with our interests, but we have our own objectives. The hero hunter, Izuku Yagi, is of particular interest to me. 𝗲𝗲, and what would that be? Overhaul, I would like to do a few experiments on him. 𝗬𝗪𝗢𝗬, I see. Is this about your quirk erasing bullets, Mr. Overhaul? Overhaul, I guess we should leave it with that guess. 𝗬𝗪𝗢𝗬? 𝗬𝗪𝗢𝗬, fine, you all can use him, but I need him lastly for a few purposes. Is that clear? 𝗲𝗲, you have our word. We will see each other soon. 𝗬𝗪𝗢𝗬.